My dear friends, we are here to explore a profound truth, a divine principle that has the power to reshape your entire existence. Tonight, we shall delve into the art of acting as you are the best. Now, let me be clear from the outset. When I speak of acting as you are the best, I am not referring to some external, worldly concept of superiority. No, my beloved, I am speaking of something far more profound, far more divine. I am speaking of recognizing and embodying the God within you, the perfect. You see, the great secret of life is this: your imagination is God. It is the creative power of the universe expressing itself through you. And when you truly grasp this truth, when you fully embody it, you will understand that acting as you are the best is not an act at all. It is a revelation of your true nature. Let us begin by understanding the nature of reality. The world you see around you with all its seeming solidity is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of your own consciousness. It is a mirror showing you the contents of your own mind. And just as a mirror faithfully reflects whatever stands before it, so does your world reflect your beliefs about yourself and your place in it. So, when I urge you to act as you are the best, I am inviting you to change the image in the mirror. I am calling you to revise your concept of self, to see yourself as the divine, perfect being that you truly are. For when you do this, when you hold this image firmly in your mind, the outer world has no choice but to reorganize itself to match this new inner reality. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I act as I'm the best when my current circumstances tell me otherwise? Ah, my dear friends, this is where faith comes in. Not faith in some external deity or power, but faith in the God within you. Faith in the power of your own imagination. You must dare to assume the feeling of being the best, even when all external evidence contradicts it. Remember, the evidence of your senses is nothing but the fruit of past beliefs. It is the harvest of seeds planted in the past. But you, my beloved, are not bound by the past. You're free to plant new seeds, to imagine a new self, a new reality. Let me share with you a fundamental law of minds. What you assume, you become. Your assumptions have persisted in, hardened into fact. This is not mere positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. This is the creative power of God working through you. When you assume the feeling of being the best, when you live from that state, you are literally reshaping your reality at its most fundamental level. Now let us explore how to put this principle into practice. The key lies in what I call the feeling of the wish fulfilled. You must enter into the state of consciousness of already being best. Feel it, live it, breathe it. Make it so real, your imagination, that it becomes impossible to tell where imagination ends and reality begins. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself as the absolute best in your field, in your relationships, in your spiritual life. See yourself moving through the world with the confidence and grace of someone who knows beyond a shadow of a doubt that they are the best. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the deep sense of fulfillment that comes with this state. Use the crucial parts. You must maintain this feeling. You must live from this state. When you open your eyes, carry this feeling with you. Let it infuse every aspect of your life. Speak as the best would speak. Move as the best would move. Make decisions as the best would make them. You may ask, but Neville, isn't this deception? Am I not lying to myself? My dear friends, nothing could be further from the truth. Remember, your imagination is God. When you imagine yourself as the best, you are not creating a fantasy. You are recognizing a divine truth that has always existed. You are letting go of the illusion of limitation and embracing your true, limitless nature. Consider the words of Scripture. Be ye perfect, even as your Father in heaven is perfect. This is not a command to strive endlessly for an unattainable ideal. It is a recognition of what you already are. You are made in the image and likeness of God. Perfection is your true nature. Being the best is your birthright. Now let me address a common misconception. Acting as you are the best does not mean comparing yourself to others or seeking to outdo them. Remember, there is only one God, one consciousness, expressing itself through all. When you truly embody being the best, you recognize this same divinity in all beings. You lift others up, for you understand that their success is your success, their joy is your joy. This understanding leads to a profound shift in how you move through the world. Instead of competing, you collaborate. Instead of seeking to prove your worth, you freely express your gifts. You become a channel for the divine, allowing the infinite creativity of God to flow through you unimpeded. Let us now explore the practical aspects of living from this state of being the best. It begins with your self-talk, the inner conversation you carry on throughout the day. Most people, unaware of the creative power of their words, constantly affirm their limitations and shortcomings. They say things like, "I'm not good enough, I can't do this, it's too hard for me." But you, my dear friends, knowing the truth of who you are, must vigilantly guard your inner conversation. Speak to yourself as you would speak to the best. Encourage yourself, uplift yourself. Remind yourself of your divine nature. Let your inner dialogue be a constant affirmation of your perfection and power. Remember, your inner conversations are the fabric from which your reality is woven. Every word you speak to yourself is a seed planted in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. And make no mistake, these seeds will grow. They will bear fruit in your external world. So choose your inner words wisely, lovingly, powerfully. Now, some of you may be wondering about the role of action in this process. Surely you might think, I can't just imagine being the best. I must do something to make it a reality. And you are right, action is important. But understand this. Inspired action flows naturally from a changed state of consciousness. When you truly embody the state of being the best, you will find yourself naturally taking actions aligned with that state. You won't have to force yourself to work hard or make difficult choices. The right actions will come to you effortlessly, joyfully. There's a natural expression of your new self-concept. This is the meaning behind the scriptural advice to seek ye first the kingdom of God, and all these things shall be added unto you. The kingdom of God is not some far-off heavenly realm. It is a state of consciousness. The state of knowing yourself as one with God is the best expression of divine perfection. When you seek this state first, when you live from it consistently, everything else falls into place. Now, let us address the challenges you may face as you embark on this journey of acting as you are the best. There will be times when the old patterns of thought and behavior try to reassert themselves. There will be moments when the evidence of your senses seems to contradict your new self-concept. In these moments, you must stand firm in your faith. Remember, the outer world is nothing but a shadow, a reflection of past thoughts and beliefs. It has no power over you unless you give it power. Your task is to remain faithful to your vision, to a new concept of self. This is what it means to live by faith and not by sight. It is a commitment to your imaginal acts, a steadfast loyalty to the God within you. For remember, your human eyes may see lack, limitation, and failure. But the eye of God, your imagination, sees only perfection, abundance, and success. Let me share with you a powerful technique to strengthen your faith and deepen your embodiment of being the best. Each night, as you lie in bed drifting off to sleep, create a scene in your imagination that implies you are living as the best. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if this scene were actually happening. Perhaps you imagine yourself receiving an award for being the best in your field. Feel the weight of the award in your hands. Hear the applause of the audience. See the smiles of your loved ones. Or perhaps you imagine a quiet moment of deep satisfaction, knowing that you have given your absolute best and achieved remarkable results. Whatever scene you choose, replay it in your mind as you fall asleep. For in that drowsy state, between waking and sleeping, your subconscious mind is most receptive. It will accept the imaginal scene as reality and begin the work of bringing it into manifestation. Do this night after night, and you will be amazed at how your outer world begins to conform to your inner vision. For you are engaging in the highest form of prayer, the prayer of assumption. You are assuming the state of being the best, and in doing so, You are calling it forth into manifestation. Now let us address a question that may be arising in some of your minds. If I am to act as I am the best, does that mean I should ignore my current shortcomings or areas where I need improvement? This is a profound question and it deserves a careful answer. The truth is, acknowledging areas for growth and acting as you are the best are not mutually exclusive. In fact, they are two sides of the same coin. When you truly embody the state of being the best, you naturally seek growth and improvement, not from a place of lack or insufficiency, but from a desire to more fully express your divine nature. Think of it this way. A master musician, acknowledged as one of the best in the world, still practices daily. A champion athlete at the peak of their game still trains rigorously. They do this not because they doubt their abilities, but because they are committed to expressing the fullness of their potential. So yes, by all means, identify areas where you can grow and improve, but do so from the state of being the best. Approach your growth not as a struggle to overcome deficiencies, but as an exciting opportunity to express more of your innate perfection. Remember, you are not becoming the best. You are the best, here and now, by virtue of your oneness with God. Any growth or improvement is simply a more complete manifestation of what already exists within you. Now, let us explore the ripple effects of acting as you are the best. When you embody this state, you become a living example of what is possible. You inspire others to recognize and express their own divine nature. You become a light in the world, illuminating the path for others. This is the true meaning of leadership. It's not about holding a position of authority or having others follow you. It's about being such a pure expression of your divine nature that you naturally uplift and inspire those around you. As you act as you are the best, you will find your relationships transforming. People will be drawn to your energy, your confidence, your joy. They will sense the God within you and respond to it with their own higher nature. You will find yourself surrounded by others who support and encourage your growth, who celebrate your successes as their own. In your work, you will find a new level of creativity and productivity. Ideas will flow to you effortlessly. Solutions to problems will present themselves with surprising ease. You will approach challenges, not with fear or stress, but with excitement and confidence, knowing that within you lies the infinite wisdom and power of God. Your health and vitality will improve as you align more fully with your divine nature. Remember, your body is a perfect reflection of your state of consciousness. As you embody the state of being the best, your body will naturally move towards its optimal state of health and well-being. Now, I want to address something that often comes up when we discuss these principles. Some of you may be thinking, but Neville, if I act as I am the best, won't I become arrogant or egotistical? This is a common concern, but it stems from a misunderstanding of what it truly means to be the best. True greatness, my dear friends, is inherently humble. When you truly recognize and embody your divine nature, you simultaneously recognize this same divinity in all beings. You understand that your greatness is not personal. It is the greatness of God expressing itself through you. This understanding leads not to arrogance, but to a deep sense of gratitude and reverence for life. You become filled with a desire to serve, to share your gifts, to lift others up. For you recognize that in doing so, you are serving and uplifting God. So as you act as you are the best, do so with humility and love. Let your greatness be a gift to the world, a channel through which divine love and creativity can flow. This is the true meaning of being the best. Not to stand above others, but to stand as a clear expression of the divine, inspiring others to do the same. Now let us talk about persistence. Acting as you are the best is not a one-time event. It's not something you do once and then forget about. It is a continuous choice, a moment-by-moment decision to align with your true nature. There will be times when it feels challenging. There will be moments when the old patterns of thought and behavior try to reassert themselves. In these moments, you must persist. Remember, you are retraining your mind, rewiring your consciousness. This takes time and consistent effort. But here's the beautiful truth. Every time you choose to act as you are the best, every time you align with your divine nature, you make it easier to do so in the future. You are creating new neural pathways, new patterns of thought and behavior. Over time, being the best becomes your natural state, requiring no effort at all. So persist, my dear friends. Be vigilant in guarding your thoughts and assumptions. Be steadfast in your faith, even when appearances seem to contradict it. For remember, what you persist in assuming must invariably come to pass. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to emphasize a crucial point. Acting as you are the best is not about achieving some future state of perfection. It's about recognizing and expressing the perfection that already exists within you, here and now. You are not becoming the best. You are the best by virtue of your oneness with God. Your task is simply to remove the veils of limiting beliefs and false assumptions that have hidden this truth from you. As you do this, as you consistently act from the state of being the best, you allow more and more of your divine nature to express itself in your life. Remember, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of spirit, in the imagination of God, all is now. The best version of you already exists, complete and perfect. By acting as you are the best, you are simply aligning your human consciousness with this eternal truth. So I urge you, my beloved friends, go forth from this place with a new understanding, a new commitment to living as the divine being that you are. Let every thought, every word, every action be an expression of your best self. Live from the state of being the best. And watch and wonder as your world transforms to match this new state of consciousness. For you are the operant power in your life. You are the God of your universe. As you think, as you feel, as you assume, so shall your world be. Therefore, assume the best, feel the joy and confidence of being the best, and your world will have no choice but to reflect this back to you. I remind you of the words of Scripture. I and my Father are one. This is not a statement of future possibility, but a recognition of eternal truth. You are one with the creative power of the universe. You are the best because you are an expression of the best, the divine, perfect, limitless God. So go now and live from this truth. Act as you are the best, not as a performance or a pretense, but as a revelation of who you truly are. Let your light shine brightly, illuminating the path for others. For in doing so, you fulfill your highest purpose, to be a clear and perfect expression of God in this world. Remember, your imagination's God. Use it wisely, use it lovingly, use it powerfully. Imagine the best, feel the best, be the best. For that is what you are now and always. Thank you, and may your journey of self-discovery and divine expression be filled with joy, wonder, and infinite possibility. As we conclude our exploration of acting as you are the best, I want to emphasize the transformative power of this practice. By consistently embodying your highest self, you set in motion a series of events that will reshape your entire world. Remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner state. As you maintain the feeling of being the best, your circumstances will inevitably align with this new self-concept. This journey of acting as you are the best is not always easy. There will be moments of doubt, times when the old patterns of thought attempt to reassert themselves. In these moments, stand firm in your conviction. Return to your imaginal acts, to the feeling of being the best. For it is your persistence in maintaining this state that will ultimately bring it into full manifestation. As you continue on this path, you will find that being the best becomes effortless. It will no longer feel like an act, but a natural expression of who you truly are. You will move through the world with grace and ease, knowing that you are a perfect expression of your life will become a living testament to the power of imagination and the truth of your oneness with God. Remember, my dear friends, that in acting as you are the best, you're not only transforming your own life, but you are contributing to the elevation of all humanity. For we are all one, all expressions of the same divine consciousness. As you rise, you lift others with you. Your light shines not just for you, but for all who cross your path. So go forth now, embodying the truth of your divine nature. Act as you are the best, not from a place of ego, but from a deep recognition of your oneness with God. Let every thought, every word, every action be a reflection of this truth. For in doing so, you fulfill your highest purpose, to be a clear and perfect channel through which the infinite love and creativity of God can flow into this world. Remember, you are the best because you are God expressing as you. Now go and live from this glorious truth.
Imagine, if you will, that your mind is a garden. Every thought you enter and entertain, every belief you nurture, is a seed planted in this fertile soil of consciousness. And just as surely as a planted seed grows into a flower or a tree, your thoughts and beliefs grow into the circumstances of your life. Now I ask you, what seeds are you planting in this garden of your mind? Are they seeds of doubt, fear, and limitation? Or are they seeds of faith, love, and infinite possibility? For make no mistake, my dear friends, the harvest of your life will be determined by the seeds you sow in the present moment. But how, you may ask, does this process work? How does the invisible realm of thought translate into the visible realm of experience? The answer lies in the very nature of consciousness itself. You see, consciousness is the only reality. The world you perceive around you is not separate from you, but a reflection of your inner state. When you truly grasp this truth, when you internalize it not just as an intellectual concept, but as a lived experience, you will hold in your hands the key to unlocking the treasure house of the universe. For if consciousness is the only reality, and your thoughts shape your consciousness, then by controlling your thoughts, you control your reality. Let me illustrate this with a simple exercise. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine a lemon. See its vibrant yellow skin. Feel its waxy texture beneath your fingers. Now imagine cutting this lemon in half, the juice running down your hands. Bring the lemon to your lips and take a big bite. What happened? Did you not feel your mouth water? Did you not experience the tangy sensation as if you had actually bitten into a lemon? And yet there was no physical lemon. It was all in your imagination. This, my friends, is the power of focused thought. Your body responded to an imaginary stimulus as if it were real. Now extend this understanding to every aspect of your life. Just as your body responded to the imagined lemon, the universe responds to your focused thoughts and beliefs. If you consistently focus on lack, you will experience lack. If you consistently focus on abundance, you will experience abundance. But remember, it is not enough to merely think positive thoughts in a superficial manner. True transformation comes from a deeper place. It comes from assumption. You must assume the feeling of wishful wish fulfilled. You must live from the end, experiencing in your imagination the reality you desire as if it were already manifest. Let's delve deeper into this concept of assumption. When I speak of assumption, I am not referring to mere positive thinking or affirmations. I am speaking of a total transformation of your inner state. You must become in consciousness the person you wish to be in reality. Suppose you desire financial abundance. It is not enough to simply repeat affirmations about wealth. You must assume the state of wealth consciousness. How would you feel if you were already financially abundant? How would you carry yourself? What thoughts would occupy your mind? You see, the outer world is a mirror reflecting your inner assumptions. If you assume poverty, if you live in a state of lack consciousness, the outer world will faithfully reflect this back to you. But if you assume abundance, if you live from the state of wealth consciousness, the universe has no choice but to reshape itself to match your assumption. This is the law of attraction in its purest form. It is not about wishing for things to change. It is about changing yourself first, in consciousness, and allowing the outer world to conform to your new state of being. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, I have tried positive thinking before, and nothing changed. To this I say, you have not yet grasped the power of your imagination. You have not yet learned to live from the end. Living from the end means experiencing in your imagination, with all the vividness of reality, the state you desire to manifest. It means feeling the feelings, thinking the thoughts, and even performing the actions in your mind's eye as if your desire were already fulfilled. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you desire a promotion at work. Instead of anxiously wondering if you will get the promotion or desperately affirming that you will, you must assume the state of already having received the promotion. In your imagination, feel the satisfaction of sitting in your new office. Experience the pride as you tell your loved ones about your new position. Feel the weight of the increased responsibility and the excitement of new challenges. Make this imaginal act so real that when you open your eyes, you are surprised to find yourself back in your current circumstances. This, my friends, is the art of living from the end. And when you master this art, you will have mastered the art of deliberate creation. For your outer world has no choice but to reshape itself to match your inner experience. But some of you may be wondering, what about action? Don't we need to take action to achieve our goals? And to this, I say inspired action will naturally flow from your assumed state. When you truly live from the end, when you fully embody the consciousness of your desire fulfilled, you will be guided to take precisely the right actions at precisely the right time. You see, action taken from a state of lack or desperation is rarely effective. It is often frantic, misguided, and ultimately futile. But action taken from a state of fulfillment, from the calm certainty that your desire is already yours, is powerful beyond measure. This is why I say that changing your concept of self is the most important work you can do. For when you change your concept of self, when you assume a new state of consciousness, everything else changes automatically. Your actions, your decisions, your very way of being in the world shift to align with your new self-concept. Now let us explore some practical tips for personal growth based on this understanding. The first and most crucial step is to become aware of your current mental diet. What thoughts do you habitually entertain? What beliefs do you hold about yourself and the world? Are these thoughts and beliefs serving you, or are they limiting you? Most people through life on autopilot, unconsciously repeating the same patterns of thought day after day. But you, my dear friends, are not most people. You are here because you seek transformation. And transformation begins with awareness. Start paying attention to your inner dialogue. Notice the running commentary in your mind. Is it supportive and empowering, or is it critical and discouraging? Remember that these thoughts are the seeds you are planting in the garden of your faith. Choose them wisely. Once you become aware of your thought patterns, the next step is to consciously choose new thoughts that align with your desires. But remember, it's not about forcing yourself to think positively. It's about choosing thoughts that feel natural and true to you. If you currently believe that you are unworthy of love, for example, trying to force yourself to believe I am worthy of love might feel inauthentic and create inner resistance. Instead, you might start with a thought that feels more believable, such as I am open to the possibility that I am worthy of love. As you consistently focus on this new thought, as you nurture it and give it your attention, it will grow stronger. Eventually, it will become your dominant belief, replacing the old limiting belief. This process of consciously choosing your thoughts is the foundation of personal growth. It is the art of mental gardening, of cultivating the mind to produce the harvest you desire in your life. But thought alone is not enough. To truly transform your life, you must combine thought with feeling. This is where the power of imagination to play. Your imagination is the bridge between thought and feeling. It is the creative power that can make your desires feel real to you before they manifest in the physical world. I urge you to set aside time each day for conscious imagination. Create a mental scene that implies the fulfillment of your desire. Make it as vivid and real as possible. Engage all your senses. Feel the emotions you would feel if your desire were already fulfilled. For instance, if you desire a loving relationship, imagine yourself in a scene where you are with your perfect partner. Feel the warmth of their embrace. Hear their loving words. Experience the joy and contentment of being in a fulfilling relationship. As you practice this imaginal act, you will notice something remarkable. The feelings generated by your imagination will begin to spill over into your waking life. You will start to feel more loved, more worthy of love, even before a physical relationship manifests. This is the power of living from the end. By consistently assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled, you are reshaping your consciousness. As your consciousness changes, your reality must change to match it. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what if negative thoughts and doubts creep in? What if I can't maintain this positive focus all the time? My friends, this is a natural part of the process. The key is not to fight against negative thoughts or to berate yourself for having them. Instead, gently redirect your focus back to your desired state. Think of it like training a puppy. When the puppy wanders off, you don't punish it. You gently guide it back to where you want it to be. Treat your mind with the same patience and kindness. When you notice your thoughts straying towards doubt or fear, simply guide them back to your desired state. Remember, what you resist persists. Fighting against negative thoughts only gives them more power. Instead, acknowledge them without judgment, and then choose to focus on thoughts that serve you better. This brings us to another crucial aspect of personal growth: self-love and self-acceptance. Many people make the mistake of thinking they need to change themselves in order to be worthy of love or success. But the truth is, true transformation comes from a place of self-acceptance, not self-rejection. You are in this moment perfect and united. Yes, you may desire to grow and evolve, but this desire comes from a place of love for yourself, not from a place of lack or unworthiness. When you truly love and accept yourself as you are, you create the fertile soil from which all growth springs. Practice looking at yourself through eyes of love. Speak to yourself with kindness and compassion. Celebrate your strengths and accept your perceived weaknesses with equal grace. For it is only when you fully accept yourself that you give yourself permission to say and change. Now let's talk about the role of gratitude in personal growth. Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It is a powerful creative force. When you focus on what you are grateful for, you are effectively telling the universe, more of this, please. Make gratitude a daily practice. Each morning when you wake up and each night before you go to sleep, take a few moments to count your blessings. Feel the genuine emotion of thankfulness for all that is good in your life. But don't stop at being grateful for what you already have. Practice gratitude for what is coming, for the desires that are in the process of manifesting. Feel thankful for them as if they were already here. This is another way of living from the end, of assuming the feeling of the wish fulfilled. As you cultivate this attitude of gratitude, you will find that more and more things come into your life for which to be grateful. It becomes a beautiful, self-perpetuating cycle of abundance and joy. Now, my dear friends, I want to address a question that often arises when discussing the law of attraction and the power of focused thought. Some ask if our thoughts create our reality. Are we responsible for everything that happens to us, even the bad things? This is a nuanced question that requires a compassionate understanding. While it's true that our dominant thoughts and beliefs shape our experience, we are not always consciously aware of all our beliefs, especially those deeply ingrained in our subconscious mind. Moreover, we are part of a collective consciousness, and sometimes events occur that reflect collective beliefs rather than individual ones. The key is not to blame yourself for undesired circumstances, but to recognize that you always have the power to choose your response to any situation. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? Ask, what can I learn from this? How can I use this experience for my growth? This shift in perspective transforms challenges into opportunities for evolution and self-discovery. Remember, every experience, whether perceived as positive or negative, is an opportunity to know yourself more deeply and to consciously choose who you want to be. In this way, even seemingly negative experiences can be transmuted into catalysts for personal growth. Now let us delve into the concept of persistence. Personal growth is not always a smooth, linear process. There will be times when you feel as if nothing is changing, when your desired reality seems far away. It is in these moments that persistence becomes crucial. Persistence doesn't mean forcing or struggling. It means maintaining your assumption regardless of appearances. It means continuing to live from the end, even when the outer world hasn't yet caught up with your inner reality. Think of it like planting a seed. Once you plant a seed, you don't dig it up every day to check if it's growing. You trust in the natural process of growth. You continue to water it and provide the right conditions, knowing that due time it will sprout and flourish. Similarly, once you plant the seed of your desire in your consciousness through your imaginal acts, you must have faith in the process. Continue to nurture it with your attention and emotion, but release the anxiety about when or how it will manifest. This release, this letting go, is not indifference. It is deep trust in the perfect unfolding of your desire. It is the confident expectation of a child on Christmas Eve, knowing that their gifts will be there in the morning. As you persist in your assumption, as you continue to live from the state of your wish fulfilled, you will begin to notice changes. At first, they may be subtle, a shift in your mood, a new idea, an unexpected opportunity. These are signs that your outer world is beginning to conform to your inner state. Celebrate these signs, no matter how small they may seem. Your gratitude and excitement will further amplify the manifestation process. But don't become attached to these specific signs. Keep your focus on the end result, on the complete fulfillment of your desire. Now, I want to address a common pitfall in personal growth, the trap of constantly seeking outside yourself for answers or validators. While books, teachers, and techniques can be valuable tools, true transformation always comes from within. You are the operant power in your life. No one else can do your imagining for you. No one else can assume your desired state for you. The power to change your life lies within your own consciousness. This is why I often say, go within. All the wisdom of the universe, all the power you need to transform your life is already within you. Your task is not to acquire something new, but to awaken to what you already are. When you go within, when you quiet the chatter of the external world and listen to the voice of your own being, you tap into an infinite source of wisdom and power. This is the essence of meditation and contemplation, not to achieve some special state, but to become aware of your true nature. In this state of inner quietude, you may receive insights for inspirations. Trust these. Act on them. They are your inner guidance leading you towards the fulfillment of your desires. Remember, the outer world is a reflection of your inner state. As you cultivate inner peace, clarity, and joy, your outer world will inevitably reflect these qualities back to you. This is why personal growth is the most powerful way to change your life circumstances. Now let us talk about the importance of living in the present moment. Many people postpone their happiness, thinking, I'll be happy when I get that job or find that relationship or achieve that goal. But this is a trap, my friends. It keeps you always chasing, never arriving. The secret is to find joy in the present moment, even as you work towards your desires. Remember, your point of power is always in the present. It is only in the now that you can choose your thoughts, feel your emotions, and take inspired action. Moreover, when you learn to enjoy the journey, to find satisfaction in the process of growth itself, you open yourself to even greater possibilities. You become detached from specific outcomes, which paradoxically makes those outcomes more likely to manifest. This doesn't mean you abandon your desires or become complacent. It means you trust in the perfect unfolding of your life, knowing that every moment is bringing you closer to the full expression of your true self. As we near the end of our discussion, I want to emphasize the importance of taking inspired action. While the inner work of imagination and assumption is crucial, it must be paired with outer action for full manifestation. However, this action comes from a different place than conventional goal setting or striving. It comes from a place of alignment with your assumed state, when you truly lie from the end, when you fully embody the consciousness of your desire fulfilled. You will be naturally inspired to take the right actions at the right times. These inspired actions often feel effortless, joyful, may not make logical sense to your rational meaning, but they will feel right on a deeper level. Trust these inspirations. Act on them promptly and decisively. Remember, you are not taking action to make your desire happen. You are taking action because in your assumed reality, this is simply what you naturally do. This subtle shift in perspective makes all the difference. In conclusion, my dear friends, I want to remind you of the immense power you hold within you. You are not a helpless victim of circumstances, but the creator of your reality. Your focus, your imagination, your assumptions shape the world you experience. Choose wisely what you give your attention to. Cultivate thoughts and feelings that align with your desires. Live from the end, assuming the state of your wish fulfilled. Practice gratitude, self-love, and present moment awareness. Take inspired action from a place of alignment and joy. And above all, persist. Persist in your assumption, persist in your faith, persist in your knowledge that what you seek is already yours in consciousness. For remember, consciousness is the only reality, and you are that consciousness. You are the operant power in your life. You are the miracle you seek. Embrace this truth, live from this understanding, and watch as your life transforms in wonderful and unexpected ways. Go forth now, not as seekers, but as finders. Not as hopeful dreamers, but as conscious creators. For you are the power, you are the miracle. You are the divine expression of life itself. Thank you for your attention, my friends. May your journey of personal growth be filled with joy, wonder, and the continual unfolding of your infinite potential.
My dear friends, the topic of our discourse is mindset is everything. And I assure you, this is not mere rhetoric or empty motivation. What I'm about to share with you is the very essence of creation, the foundation of reality itself. Let us begin by understanding what we mean by mindset. Your mindset is not simply your thoughts or your attitudes. It is the very state of consciousness from which you operate. It is the I am that precedes all manifestation. When we say mindset is everything, we are declaring a fundamental truth of the universe. Consciousness is the only reality. Now, I want you to listen closely, for this understanding is crucial. Your outer world, every circumstance and condition of your life, is nothing more than the outpicturing of your inner world. The world you see and experience is a reflection, a shadow of your state of consciousness. This is why your mindset, your state of being, is everything. Consider for a moment the biblical phrase, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. This word, this logos, is not separate from you. It is your very consciousness, your I am. When you declare I am, you are invoking the creative power of the universe. Your mindset, your state of consciousness, is this word made flesh. Let me illustrate this principle with a simple example. Imagine two individuals facing the same external circumstance. Let's say the loss of a job. The first individual, operating from a mindset of lack and limitation, might think, I am unemployed. I am a failure. I will never find another job. This becomes their state of consciousness, the I am. And the outer world, being a perfect reflection of this inner state, will conform to confirm this belief. Now consider the second individual. They face the same external event, but their mindset, their state of consciousness is entirely different. They might declare, I am in transition. I am open to new opportunities. I am capable and valuable. This becomes their I am, and the outer world must, by law, reflect and confirm this state of consciousness. You see, my dear friends, your mindset is not just a passive observer of reality. It is the active creator of your reality. Your state of consciousness is the cause, and the world you experience is the effect. This is why mindset is everything. Now, let us delve deeper into this principle. Many of you might be wondering, if my mindset creates my reality, why do I experience circumstances that I do not consciously desire? This is a crucial question, and its answer lies in understanding the nature of consciousness itself. Your consciousness, your mindset, operates on multiple levels. There's your surface consciousness, your waking thoughts and desires. But beneath this lies your deeper consciousness, your habitual state of being, often shaped by years of accumulated beliefs and assumptions about yourself and the world. It is this deeper state of consciousness, this habitual mindset, that truly shapes your reality. You might consciously desire wealth, but if your deeper mindset, your habitual state of being, is one of lack and limitation, it is this deeper state that will be made manifest in your outer world. This is why simply thinking positive thoughts or making affirmations is not enough to change your reality. You must go deeper. You must change your very state of being. your fundamental mindset about yourself and the world. How do we accomplish this? How do we change our deepest mindset, our habitual state of consciousness? The answer lies in the power of imagination. Your imagination is not mere fantasy or daydreaming. It is the very workshop of creation. When you imagine, you are engaging the creative power of the universe. Because none of the words of William Blake. What is now proved was once only imagined. Everything in your world, from the chair you sit on to the most advanced technology, was once only a state of consciousness, an imagined reality, before it became a tangible fact. This is the secret of changing your mindset, of transforming your reality. You must use your imagination to create a new state of consciousness, a new mindset, and then occupy that state as if it were already a fact. This is what I mean when I speak of living from the end. Let me give you a practical example. Suppose you desire financial abundance, but your current mindset, your habitual state of consciousness is one of lack and struggle. To change this, you must create a new state of consciousness, a new mindset of abundance. Close your eyes for a moment. Imagine yourself in a state of financial abundance. See yourself living in the home of your dreams, engaging in work that you love, enjoying the freedom and security that comes with true abundance. But don't just see it, feel the joy, the gratitude, the sense of ease and fulfillment that comes with this state of being. Here's the crucial pause. You must occupy this state, this mindset of abundance, as if it were already a fact. You must live from this state in your imagination until it becomes your new habitual state of consciousness. Remember, your imagination is not creating the reality. It's creating the new state of consciousness, the new mindset from which your new reality will naturally flow. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whatever you desire to be, do, or have, you must first create it as a state of consciousness, a mindset, and then occupy that state as if it were already a fact. This is the true meaning of faith. The substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Now I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, this sounds like self-deception. How can I pretend to be something I'm not? My dear friends, let me assure you, this is not deception. This is the deepest truth of your being. You are not pretending to be something you're not. You are claiming your true identity as a creative being made in the image and likeness of God. Remember, consciousness is the only reality. When you assume a new state of consciousness, when you adopt a new mindset, you are not lying to yourself. You are aligning yourself with a deeper truth, a truth that already exists in the infinite realm of possibility. Consider the words of Jesus. Therefore I tell you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it, and it would be yours. This is not a promise of future fulfillment. It is a statement of present fact. When you truly believe, when you fully occupy the state of consciousness, the mindset of having received your desire, it is yours. The outer world must conform to this inner reality. Now let us address a common misconception. Many people believe that changing their mindset, their state of consciousness, should result in instant changes in their outer world. While this can sometimes happen, more often there is a period of transition, what I call the interval of time. This interval does not negate the truth of your new state of consciousness. It is simply the time it takes for the outer world to rearrange itself to match your new inner reality. During this time, it is crucial that you maintain your new mindset, your new state of consciousness. Do not be swayed by appearances. Remember, the outer world is the effect, not the cause. Imagine planting a seed in the ground. You don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You water it, you nurture it, and you trust in the natural process of growth. The same is true of your new mindset. Once you have planted the seed of your new state of consciousness, nurture it with your continued assumption and trust in the natural law of manifestation. This brings us to another crucial aspect of mindset: persistence. Your new state of consciousness, your new mindset, must be maintained consistently. It's not enough to imagine your desired reality once and then return to your old state of consciousness. You must persist in your new state until it becomes your natural, habitual mindset. This persistence is what separates those who truly transform their lives from those who merely dabble in positive thinking. It requires discipline, faith, and a deep understanding of the creative power of consciousness. But I assure you, the rewards are beyond measure. Now, let us address a question that often arises when discussing the power of mindset. Many ask, if my consciousness creates my reality, am I responsible for everything in my life, including the negative experiences? This is a profound question, and its answer requires a deep understanding of the nature of consciousness. Firstly, understand that much of your current reality is the result of past states of consciousness, mindsets that you may have occupied without full awareness. We are all on a journey of awakening, of becoming increasingly conscious creators of our reality. Secondly, remember that your individual consciousness is part of a larger collective consciousness. You are not an island, but a wave in the vast ocean of universal consciousness. While your individual mindset is incredibly powerful, it also interacts with the collective mindset of humanity. However, this does not diminish your creative power. It simply means that your mindset, your state of consciousness, determines how you experience and interact with the collective reality. Two people can face the same external circumstance and have entirely different experiences based on their individual mindsets. This understanding should not lead to guilt or self-blame for past experiences, but rather to empowerment. Knowing that your mindset creates your reality means that you have the power to change your reality by changing your mindset. This is true freedom. Let us now explore how this understanding of mindset as the creator of reality applies to various aspects of life. Take, for example, your relationships. Many people believe that they are at the mercy of others' behaviors and attitudes. They think, if only my partner would change, then I would be happy. But remember, your experience of others is a reflection of your own state of consciousness, your own mindset. If you consistently experience difficult relationships, look within. What is your mindset about relationships? You believe that love is scarce, that people always let you down, that you're not worthy of love. To change your relationship experiences, you must first change your mindset about relationships. Imagine yourself in loving, fulfilling relationships. Feel the joy, the connection, the mutual respect. Occupy this state of consciousness as if it were already a fact. As you persist in this new mindset, you will find your outer world of relationships transforming to match your inner reality. The same principle applies to your career and financial situation. Many believe that their income is determined by external factors, the economy, their employer, their level of education. But I tell you, your financial reality is a direct reflection of your mindset about money and success. If you consistently struggle financially, examine your mindset. Do you believe that money is scarce? That you have to work hard for every penny? That wealth is for others but not for you? These beliefs, these states of consciousness are creating your financial reality. To change this, you must adopt a new mindset, a new state of consciousness regarding money and success. Imagine yourself in a state of abundance. Feel the freedom, the security, the joy of financial prosperity. Live from this state in your imagination until it becomes your natural mindset. As you do this, you will find your outer world rearranging itself to match this new inner reality. Now let's address the realm of health and well-being. Many believe that their health is determined solely by genetics, diet, and external factors. While these play a role, I tell you that your health is primarily a reflection of your state of consciousness, your mindset about health in your body. If you constantly experience health issues, look at your mindset. Do you believe that your body is fragile, that illness is inevitable as you age, that you're at the mercy of every germ and virus? These beliefs, these states of consciousness are shaping your health reality. To transform your health, you must adopt a new mindset, a new state of consciousness regarding your body and well-being. Imagine yourself in a state of vibrant health. Feel the energy, the vitality, the joy of a body in perfect balance. Occupy this state as if it were already a fact. As you persist in this new mindset, you will find your body responding, aligning itself with this new inner reality. Now I want to address a common concern. Many of you might be thinking, but Neville, I've tried positive thinking before and it didn't work. My dear friends, what I'm sharing with you goes far beyond mere positive thinking. This is about fundamentally shifting your state of being, your very identity. Positive thinking often remains at the surface level of consciousness, like trying to calm the waves on top of the ocean. What we're discussing is diving deep into the ocean itself, changing the very currents that create the waves. This is why I emphasize the importance of feeling, of experiencing your desired state as if it were already a fact. It's not enough to think about what you want. You must become it in your imagination. You must feel the naturalness of it, the reality of it, until it becomes your dominant state of... Remember, your subconscious mind, which is the true creator of your reality, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and what you actually experience in the outer world. When you consistently occupy a state in your imagination, feeling its reality, your subconscious accepts it as fact and proceeds to bring it into your outer reality. This is the true power of mindset. It's not about forcing yourself to think positive thoughts. It's about choosing a new state of being and occupying it so fully in your imagination that it becomes your new reality. Now let us address another crucial aspect of mindset. Your concept of self, your fundamental beliefs about who you are, what you're capable of, and what you deserve form the core of your mindset. These beliefs shape every aspect of your life experience. Many of you are walking around with a concept of self that was given to you by others, your parents, your teachers, your society. You've accepted these beliefs about yourself without question, and they've become the foundation of your mindset, the lens through which you view and experience the world. But I tell you, you have the power to choose your concept of self. You are not bound by the limitations others have placed upon you, or even the limitations you've placed upon yourself in the past. You can, at any moment, decide to adopt a new concept of self. This is what it means to be made in the image and likeness of God. You have the divine power of self-definition. You can declare, I am, and whatever follows the declaration becomes your reality. This is the ultimate creative power of mindset. So I ask you, who do you choose to be? What concept of self will you adopt? Will you continue to accept a limited, fearful, or unworthy concept of self? Or will you claim your divine birthright and declare yourself to be the magnificent, powerful, worthy being that you truly are? Remember, this is not about ego or arrogance. This is about aligning yourself with the truth of your being. You are divine creation endowed with infinite potential. Your mindset, your concept of self should reflect this truth. As you adopt this elevated concept of self, this empowering mindset, you will find your outer world transforming to match this inner reality. Opportunities will appear, relationships will improve, abundance will flow, because the outer must always conform to the inner. Now let us discuss the practical application of this understanding. How do you go about changing your mindset, your state of consciousness, in a way that truly transforms your reality? The key lies in what I call the law of assumption. This law states that if you assume a state and persist in that assumption, it must become your reality. This is not wishful thinking or idle fantasy. This is a fundamental law of consciousness. To apply this law, you must first clearly define the state you wish to occupy. What is the mindset? The state of consciousness that would naturally result in the life you desire. See it clearly in your mind's eye. Feel it. Experience it as vividly as you can in your imagination. Then, you must assume this state. You must step into it fully in your imagination, occupying it as if it were already your reality. Feel the naturalness of it. Experience the emotions that would accompany the state. It's a practical technique. Before you fall asleep at night, imagine a scene that would imply your desired state has become your reality. Perhaps it's a congratulatory conversation with a friend, or simply looking at yourself in the mirror and seeing the confident, successful person you desire to be. Make this scene as vivid and real as possible. Feel it. Experience it fully. As you fall asleep in this state, you are impressing this new reality upon your subconscious mind. Remember, your subconscious does not distinguish between what is vividly imagined and what is actually experienced in the outer world. By falling asleep in this state, you are planting the seed of your new reality in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. Repeat this process night after night. During your waking hours, whenever you think of your desire, return to the feeling of your wish fulfilled. Live from the assumption that what you desire is already a fact. Now, here's where many people falter. They do this for a day or two, and when they don't see immediate results in their outer world, they give up. They return to their old mindset, their old state of consciousness. But remember what we said about the interval of time. Your outer world may take some time to rearrange itself to match your new inner reality. This is where persistence becomes crucial. You must maintain your new state, your new mindset, regardless of appearances. Remember, the outer world is the effect, not the cause. Persist in your assumption, and the outer world must eventually conform. This persistence requires faith. Not blind faith, but faith based on understanding. Faith in the law of consciousness, faith that your inner world is the true reality, and that the outer must conform to the inner. As you persist in your new state, you will begin to see signs of your new reality manifesting in your outer world. These may be small at first, a chance comment from a friend, an unexpected opportunity, a shift in how people respond to you. These are confirmations that your new mindset is taking root, that your new reality is beginning to manifest. Do not disregard these signs, no matter how small they may seem. They are the first fruits of your new state of consciousness, the early evidence that your mindset is indeed everything. As you continue to persist in your new state, as you maintain your new mindset with unwavering faith, you will witness a complete transformation of your reality. The person you have imagined yourself to be will become the person you are in every aspect of your life. Your relationships, your career, your health, your finances, all will align with your new state of consciousness. This is the ultimate proof that mindset is everything. It is the foundation of your reality, the source of all creation in your world. Remember, my dear friends, you are the operant power in your world. Your mindset, your state of consciousness, is the creative force that shapes your entire existence. Choose it wisely, persist in it faithfully, and watch as your world transforms to match the grandeur you're in the vision. For truly, mindset is everything.
Consider for a moment the concept of being magnetic to miracles. You may perceive miracles as rare, extraordinary events that happen to a chosen few. But I say unto you, miracles are the natural state of existence, and you have the power to attract them continuously into your life simply by assuming the state of being magnetic to them. But what does it truly mean to act as if you are magnetic to miracles? It is not a matter of pretending or wishing. It is a state of consciousness, a shift in your very being that aligns you with the creative power of the universe. It is about recognizing that your consciousness, your awareness of being magnetic to miracles, is the only reality, and that a profound shift in this awareness can and will transform your entire world. Let us delve deeper into this profound truth. Your outer world, every experience you have, every circumstance you encounter, is nothing more than a reflection of your inner world, your concept of self. And this concept of self can be radically altered by assuming the state of being magnetic to miracles. When you understand this, truly understand it, you realize that by carefully choosing and vividly imagining yourself as a being who naturally attracts miracles, you are actively creating a new reality that will unfold in your experience. This understanding is crucial, for it shifts the entire paradigm of how you approach life. No longer are you a helpless being at the mercy of chance and circumstance, hoping for occasional miracles. You become the active creator of your reality. knowing that as you assume the state of being magnetic to miracles, the universe must rearrange itself to match this new inner assumption. But how, you may ask, can one truly act as if they are magnetic to miracles? The answer lies in the creative power of your wonderful human imagination combined with the intensity of your feeling and belief. For your imagination is not a mere fantasy maker, and your feelings are not mere reactions to external stimuli. Together, they form the very workshop in which reality is forged. Let us take a moment to truly understand this. Your subconscious mind, which is one with the universal creative force, does not distinguish between what you vividly imagine and feel as true and what you actually experience in the outer world. It accepts as true whatever you feel to be true in your imaginal acts. And once it accepts an idea as true, it proceeds to bring it into manifestation in your physical reality, regardless of how long it takes in clock time. So when you act as if you are magnetic to miracles, when you fall asleep in the absolute conviction that you are a being who naturally attracts miraculous experiences, you are not engaging in wishful thinking or self-deception. You are actively creating your new reality from within. You are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe, allowing it to work through you and for you to manifest miracles in your life. This, my dear listeners, is the essence of acting as if you are magnetic to miracles. It is about recognizing that the power to shape your reality lies within you, waiting to be expressed through your conscious imaginal acts. It is about understanding that your outer world is nothing more than a reflection of your inner concept of self, which can be radically altered by assuming the state of being naturally magnetic to miracles. Consider the biblical phrase, "All things are possible to him that believeth." This is not a mere poetic expression or a vague spiritual concept. It is a statement of cosmic law, an invitation to recognize the power of your assumed state. When you truly embody the state of being magnetic to miracles, when you feel its reality with every fiber of your being, you are changed in that very moment. The outer manifestation of miracles may take time to catch up, but the inner transformation is instantaneous. But let me be clear, acting as if you are magnetic to miracles is not about forced visualizations or strained affirmations. It is about a total immersion in the feeling of being someone who naturally attracts miraculous experiences. When you truly embody this practice, you naturally assume the thoughts, feelings, and inner conversations of a person who is magnetic to miracles. You go to sleep not as the person struggling for occasional lucky breaks, but as the person who lives in a constant state of miraculous unfolding. Let us explore this further with an example. Imagine a person who has always felt that life is a constant struggle, that miracles are rare and happen to others. For years, their inner dialogue has been filled with doubt and limitation. Now, imagine this person deciding to act as if they are magnetic to miracles. As they lie in bed, they immerse themselves in the feeling of being someone who naturally attracts miraculous experiences. They feel the joy, the wonder, the gratitude of someone whose life is filled with constant miracles. They allow this feeling to permeate every cell of their being. They fall asleep in this state, carrying it into their dreams. When they awaken, something has shifted. They may not see immediate external changes, but internally, they are no longer the same person. They have experienced the reality of being magnetic to miracles. And this new self-concept begins to reshape their outer world. In the days and weeks that follow, they find themselves naturally acting with more openness and expectancy. They notice synchronicities where they would have previously seen mere coincidences. They pursue opportunities they would have once thought beyond their reach. And as they do so, their outer world begins to reflect this new inner state. Miraculous occurrences start to happen more frequently. Unexpected solutions appear. Their entire life begins to transform, all stemming from acting as if they are magnetic to miracles. This principle applies to every aspect of your life. Whether you desire miracles in your career, relationships, health, or any other area, the key is to assume the state of being magnetic to miracles in all areas. Feel the reality of being someone whose life is filled with constant miraculous unfoldings. Fall asleep in that state, knowing that as you do so, you are planting a seed in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind that must grow into your outer reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, can simply acting as if I'm magnetic to miracles really make such a difference? Surely miracles are rare and beyond our control. And to this I say, miracles are as common or as rare as you assume them to be. In the realm of consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is only the eternal now. Acting as if you are magnetic to miracles can indeed reshape your entire future, for it plants a seed of a new self-concept that will inevitably grow into manifestation. Remember, the outer world is dead. It has no life of its own. It is your consciousness, your concept of self, that gives life to your experiences. When you act as if you are magnetic to miracles, you are breathing life into a new reality. You are setting in motion a series of events that must culminate in the outer expression of this new inner state. This, my dear friends, is the true secret to becoming magnetic to miracles. It is about aligning your entire being with a new concept of self, recognizing that this new self-concept is seeking expression through you, and allowing it to flow into your experience through the power of your focused imagination and unwavering belief. But let me warn you, this shift in consciousness is not always an easy task. The old habits of thought and feeling, the familiar self-concept you've held for so long, may try to reassert themselves. As you lie in bed attempting to embody the state of being magnetic to miracles, doubts may creep in. The voice of your old self may try to convince you that miracles are impossible, that you're fooling yourself. When this happens, do not fight against these thoughts. Simply observe them, acknowledge them, and then gently return to the feeling of being magnetic to miracles. For the war is not won by battling against what you don't want to be, but by persistently embodying what you do want to be. This persistence, this unwavering commitment to maintaining your new state of being magnetic to miracles in the face of doubts and contrary evidence is what allows you to truly transform your life. Think of it like tuning a radio. When you're trying to listen to a particular station, you don't focus on eliminating all the other stations. You simply tune into the frequency you desire. In the same way, you don't need to fight against your current reality or forcefully push away doubts and fears. You simply need to tune yourself to the frequency of being magnetic to miracles, to align your entire consciousness with the person who naturally attracts miraculous experiences. This tuning is done through your focused imagination and your ability to generate and maintain the feeling of being magnetic to miracles. Your imagination is the dial that allows you to tune into different frequencies of experience. As you use your imagination to fully embody the state of being magnetic to miracles, as you feel the reality of being this version of yourself, you are tuning yourself to that frequency, allowing the corresponding experiences to flow into your life. But remember, my friends, while the inner transformation can occur in an instant as you assume this new state, the full manifestation of miracles in your outer world may take time. The seed planted by acting as if you are magnetic to miracles will grow, but it must go through its natural stages of development. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate, dramatic changes in your external circumstances. Know that the moment you succeeded in fully embodying the state of being magnetic to miracles, change became inevitable. As you persist in maintaining this new state in your daily life, you will find that your perception of yourself and your world begins to shift. What once seemed like ordinary coincidences now appear as miracles. Challenges become opportunities for miraculous solutions. You begin to see yourself as the empowered, miracle-attracting being you imagined yourself to be. Now, some of you may be wondering, but Neville, how can I ensure that I maintain this state of being magnetic to miracles? How can I prevent falling back into old patterns of thinking and feeling that may repel miracles? And to this I say, the power of your assumed state lies not just in the intensity of the experience, but in the knowing it brings. Once you have experienced the reality of being magnetic to miracles, even if only in your imagination, you have tasted the truth of your divine nature. This knowing becomes an anchor, a reference point to which you can always return. In the days and weeks that follow, as you begin this practice of acting as if you are magnetic to miracles, you may face moments of doubt or challenge. In these moments, recall the feeling of that state. Remember the reality of being a person who naturally attracts miracles. Let that memory, that knowing, guide you back to your new state of being. For having experienced it once, you can experience it again and again, each time strengthening your new self-concept. The key is to make your imaginal experience of being magnetic to miracles as real and vivid as possible. Engage all your senses. As you lie in bed preparing for sleep, see yourself as the person who naturally attracts miracles. Hear the amazement in people's voices as they witness the miracles in your life. Feel the joy, the wonder, the gratitude of being someone whose life is filled with constant miraculous experiences. Make it so real that your rational mind cannot distinguish between this imaginal act and physical reality. But here's a crucial point, my friends. The goal is not to imagine specific miraculous events. The goal is to embody the essence of being magnetic to miracles. For it is this state of being that is the true attractor of miraculous experiences. Let me illustrate this with an example. Instead of imagining a specific miraculous event, like winning the lottery or spontaneously healing from an illness, embody the state of being someone who naturally attracts miracles in all areas of life. Feel the confidence, the expectancy, the joy that comes with this state. See yourself moving through life with an aura of miraculous potential surrounding you. Hear yourself speaking words of gratitude for the constant flow of miracles in your life. By focusing on the state of being magnetic to miracles rather than specific outcomes, you allow the universe to bring miracles to you in ways that might far exceed your specific imaginings. You open yourself to possibilities beyond what your current mindset can conceive. This is the true art of acting, as if you are magnetic to miracles. It's not about forcing yourself to believe in specific miraculous events. It's about aligning your entire being with the truth of your divine nature as a miracle-attracting being. Your oneness with the creative power of the universe. It's about spending each day fully embodying the highest vision of who you truly are. A being who is naturally magnetic to miracles. As you practice this, you may find that your outer world begins to shift in subtle ways. Perhaps you start to notice more synchronicity in your daily life. Or you find yourself naturally making choices that lead to unexpected positive outcomes. Or opportunities that seem miraculous begin to appear out of nowhere. These are all signs that your inner transformation, initiated by acting as if you are magnetic to miracles, is creating ripples in your outer reality. Don't discount these small miracles. Celebrate them. See them as confirmation that the law is working, that your assumed state is taking root. But don't become attached to them or anxiously look for them. Simply acknowledge them with gratitude and continue to live from your state of being magnetic to miracles. As you persist in this practice, larger miracles will begin to manifest. You may find yourself naturally attracting experiences that seem truly miraculous. You may notice that problems which once seemed insurmountable are solved in unexpected and wonderful ways. You may achieve goals you once thought impossible with an ease that feels miraculous. And as you continue to maintain the state of being magnetic to miracles, you'll discover that life becomes an exciting adventure of ever-expanding wonder and possibility. But remember, the outer manifestation of miracles is not the ultimate goal. The goal is the state of being from which all miraculous experiences naturally flow. This is a crucial point, my friends. When you truly transform by acting as if you are magnetic to miracles, when you are fully living from this new state of being, you no longer need external miracles to confirm your state. You're already whole, already complete in your knowing that you are a being who naturally attracts miracles. And paradoxically, it's in this state of inner assurance that you're most likely to experience a life filled with constant miraculous unfoldings. Now, some of you might be thinking, but Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do things in the physical world to bring about miracles? And to this I say, yes, action is part of the process. But it's inspired action, not anxious doing. When you're living from the state of being magnetic to miracles, ideas and opportunities will naturally present themselves to you. You'll feel inspired to take certain actions to move in certain directions. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, joyful, almost effortless. They will be the natural outgrowth of your new state of being. This is the difference between trying to make miracles happen and allowing them to happen. When you're trying to force miracles, actions feel stressful, born out of fear and doubt. When you're truly embodying the state of being magnetic to miracles, actions flow naturally from your aligned state, guided by an inner wisdom that knows exactly how to bring about the manifestation of miracles in your life. Consider the example of a flower blooming. A flower doesn't strain to open its petals. It doesn't force itself to grow. It simply unfolds naturally, expressing its innate beauty. You, my dear listeners, are no different. When you act as if you are magnetic to miracles, you allow your life to unfold naturally and beautifully, expressing the infinite potential for miracles that is your birthright. But let me be clear, this state of allowing miracles is not passive. It requires an active use of your imagination, a deliberate and focused embodiment of the state of being magnetic to miracles. It requires faith, not blind faith in external forces, but faith in the creative power of your consciousness and your ability to attract miracles to your assumed state. This faith is not about believing that miracles will come someday in the future. It's about knowing that you are magnetic to miracles now, in this very moment, and that your outer world must inevitably conform to this new inner reality. As you cultivate this faith, as you persist in acting as if you are magnetic to miracles, you'll begin to see evidence of miracles manifesting in your outer world. These signs may start small, an unexpected solution to a problem, a chance encounter that leads to a wonderful opportunity, a sudden insight that changes everything. Do not discount these signs, no matter how small they may seem, for they are confirmation that your inner transformation, initiated by acting as if you are magnetic to miracles, is indeed shaping your outer reality. They are breadcrumbs leading you to the full realization of the miraculous life you are creating. As we near the conclusion of our discussion, I want to address a common concern that arises when people first encounter this teaching. Many worry that focusing on attracting miracles might somehow make them selfish or disconnected from others. But I assure you, my friends, the opposite is true. When you truly understand the principle of being magnetic to miracles, you realize that you are not separate from others. As you elevate your own consciousness through your assumed state, you are elevating the consciousness of all. Your personal miracles, far from disconnecting you from others, actually expand the field of possibilities for all. Moreover, when you are coming from a place of being magnetic to miracles, you naturally have more to give to others. You become a beacon of possibility, a living example of the power of consciousness to reshape reality. Your miracles create a ripple effect, touching the lives of everyone you encounter with your newfound energy, wonder, and joy. This is the true gift of acting as if you are magnetic to miracles. It's not just about improving your individual circumstances, although that will happen. It's about aligning yourself with the fundamental nature of the universe, which is boundless potential and perpetual creation. It's about recognizing your own divine nature and allowing it to express itself fully through you. In this state of alignment, of living from the state of being magnetic to miracles, you become a channel for the most beautiful expressions of life. Ideas flow to you effortlessly. Opportunities present themselves naturally. The right people and circumstances appear in your life at the perfect time. This is the magic of living from your transformed state of being. But remember, this magic is not something external to you. It's not some cosmic force that you need to appease or manipulate. It is the natural expression of your own consciousness when it's aligned with the truth of your being. You are the power. You are the magic. You are the one who has transformed yourself by acting as if you are magnetic to miracles. As we draw our time together to a close, I want to leave you with a final thought. The principle we've explored tonight, ACT as if you are magnetic to your miracles, is not just a technique for attracting good fortune. It's about recognizing your true nature as a divine, creative being. It's about aligning your entire being with the fundamental truth of who you are and allowing your grandest expression to flow through you. So, my dear friends, as you leave here tonight, I urge you to embrace this principle with all your heart. Don't see it as a technique to be applied occasionally, but as a way of life to be lived continuously. Use your mighty imagination to immerse yourself fully in the state of being magnetic to miracles. Feel the naturalness of being the miracle-attracting being you truly are. Live from this state, persist in this knowing, and watch as your world rearranges itself to match your inner transformation, bringing forth a life filled with constant miracles and wonder. The universe is always listening. Here's how to make it work for you. But before we delve into this mystery, let me tell you that what I'm about to share isn't based on theories or second-hand knowledge. This is the law that I have tested and proven countless times, and I stand before you to declare that it never fails. Let me begin by telling you a fundamental truth. The universe isn't something separate from you, listening from afar. The universe is your own wonderful human imagination. When we say the universe is listening, we really mean that your consciousness, your I am, is recording and expressing every assumption you hold as true. Many of you come to me asking how to make the universe work for you, how to manifest your desires, how to achieve your goals. But I tell you this, the universe is already working perfectly, expressing with absolute precision every state you occupy in consciousness. It cannot do otherwise, for this is law. Think about this for a moment. Everything you're experiencing now, everything you see in your world, is the perfect expression of your past assumptions. The universe hasn't failed you. It has been faithfully reproducing the contents of your consciousness. If you don't like what you see, you must change your assumptions. Let me share with you a principle that few understand. The universe doesn't respond to your wishes, your hopes, or your prayers. It responds only to your assumptions. When you say, I want, the universe faithfully creates more wanting. When you say, I hope, the universe creates more hoping. But when you assume you already have what you desire, the universe must, and I emphasize, must provide the conditions, circumstances, and events that match your assumption. Your assumptions, whether conscious or unconscious, are the threads from which the fabric of your life is woven. During my years of teaching this law, I've seen countless individuals struggling to change their world while maintaining the same assumptions that created their current conditions. This is like trying to harvest wheat while continuously planting thorns. Let me share with you a profound secret about how the universe listens It listens not to your words, not to your actions, but to the feeling with which you walk through your day. When you understand this, you will understand why two people can use the same techniques, say the same words, perform the same actions, yet experience vastly different results. The universe, being your own wonderful human imagination, responds to what you feel as true. Not what you want to be true, not what you hope will be true, but what you accept as true in the depths of your being. This is why Scripture tells us, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. Notice it says in his heart, not in his mind. Many of you come to these lectures seeking techniques, methods, ways to make the universe bend to your will. But I tell you this, there is no technique more powerful than your ability to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The universe cannot distinguish between what you imagine with feeling and what you experience in the outer world. Let me illustrate this with a simple truth. Right now, in this very moment, you are experiencing the outer picturing of what you once assumed to be true. Your current financial situation, your relationships, your health, your social status, all of these are nothing more than your past assumptions made visible. The universe is so faithful to your assumptions that it will keep you in poverty if you assume lack, keep you in illness if you assume disease, keep you in loneliness if you assume abandonment. Not because it wishes to punish you, but because it can only reproduce what you accept as true in consciousness. Here's a principle that many find hard to accept. The universe is not working against you, and it's not working for you. It's working from you. It is the perfect mirror of your conscious and unconscious assumptions. When you truly grasp this, you will stop trying to change things on the outside and begin the vital work of changing your assumptions. Changing your assumptions is not a matter of positive thinking or repeating affirmations. It's about occupying a new state of consciousness until it becomes your dwelling place. When I speak of a state, I mean a complete mental and emotional attitude about yourself and the world around you. Let me tell you something that few teachers will tell you. Your present state, the one that created your current circumstances, is just as much an assumed state as the one you desire to occupy. You weren't born assuming your current limitations. You learned to assume them through experience, through what others told you, through your interpretation of events. The universe, being your faithful servant, has been reproducing these assumptions in your outer world with perfect accuracy. If you assume you can't succeed in business, the universe provides experiences that confirm this. If you assume relationships always end badly, the universe arranges events to prove you right. If you assume money is hard to come by, the universe ensures that it is. But here is the liberating truth. You can step out of your current state into a new state at any moment. The universe doesn't care how long you've been poor or sick or lonely. It only responds to your present assumption. The moment you genuinely assume a new state, the universe begins rearranging itself to match your new assumption. Consider this. Right now, there are infinite states of consciousness available to you. States of wealth, states of health, states of love, states of success. These states already exist, complete and perfect. Your task is not to create these states, but to occupy them through your assumption. Let me share with you what I mean by occupying a state. If you were now in a state of wealth, how would you feel? How would you walk? How would you talk to yourself? What would your inner conversations be? How would you react to the news of economic downturn? Your answers reveal whether you're truly occupying the state or merely wishing for it. The universe listens to these subtle signals more than your conscious declarations. You may affirm wealth all day long, but if you react with fear to an unexpected bill, the universe responds to your fear, not your affirmations. This is why watching your reactions is crucial. They reveal your true state. Your reactions are the clearest indicator of the state you're truly occupying. When someone mentions economic difficulty, do you react from the state of abundance or the state of lack? When you see others succeeding, do you react from the state of someone who knows their own success is assured, or from the state of someone who feels left behind? Let me share with you a profound truth about reactions. They are automated responses based on your deeply held assumptions. The universe responds not to what you want your reactions to be, but to what they actually are. This is why monitoring your reactions is one of the most important practices in conscious creation. Consider this: a wealthy person doesn't react to money the same way a poor person does. A healthy person doesn't react to physical symptoms the same way a sick person does. A person who knows they are loved doesn't react to relationship challenges the same way a person who assumes they are unlovable does. Your reactions reveal your state. But here's the wonderful news: you can change your reactions by changing the state from which they spring. When you truly occupy a new state, your reactions change automatically. You don't have to think about how to react. The new state reacts through you. This is why forcing new reactions doesn't work. You must change the state that produces the reactions. The universe is listening to these spontaneous reactions far more than your conscious intentions. When you understand this, you'll stop trying to control your reactions and instead focus on occupying the state that naturally produces the reactions you desire. Let me give you an example from my own experience. When I first began teaching this law, I would sometimes worry about having enough material for my lectures. But as I occupied the state of being an accomplished teacher, those worries disappeared. Not because I forced them away, but because they couldn't exist in my new state. The universe responded by continuously providing new insights and examples to share. Your reactions are like ripples on the surface of a pond, revealing the movements in the depths of your consciousness. During the day, watch your reactions carefully. They will show you which state you're actually occupying, regardless of which state you think you're occupying. Recognizing and changing your state is the most important work you can do. For your state of consciousness is the only reality. Everything else, your circumstances, your relationships, your finances, these are merely shadows cast by your state. Let me explain what I mean by a state, for this is crucial to your understanding. A state is not merely a mood or a temporary feeling. A state is the sum total of all your assumptions about yourself and the world. It's the mental and emotional dwelling place from which you view and experience life. Just as your physical home determines what you see when you look out its windows, your state determines what you experience in your world. The universe, being your own wonderful human imagination externalized, cannot give you what you want. It can only give you what your state dictates. This is why wanting something actually keeps it at a distance. The state of wanting can only produce more wanting. The universe doesn't respond to your desires, it responds to your state. Let me share with you a principle that many find hard to accept. You are already in the state of having everything you desire. Every possible state exists now. The state of wealth, the state of perfect health, the state of fulfilling relationships. These aren't states you need to create. They're states you need to occupy. Think of it like this in your physical world. All the radio and television broadcasts exist simultaneously in your room right now. But you only experience the broadcast which your receiver is tuned. Similarly, all states exist now in your consciousness, but you only experience the state to which you are tuned through your assumptions. The universe isn't withholding anything from you. It's faithfully broadcasting back to you the state you're occupying. If you're experiencing lack, it's because you're tuned to the state of lack. If you're experiencing illness, you're tuned to the state of illness. The universe can only play back what you're broadcasting through your state. Here's a profound truth. You can't experience what you desire while remaining in the state that doesn't include its fulfillment. You must shift your entire consciousness to the state where your desire is already fulfilled. This is what Scripture means by putting off the old man and putting on the new. Shifting your state of consciousness is not a matter of willpower or positive thinking. It's about assuming the natural feeling of already being what you desire to be. When you understand this, manifestation becomes effortless because you're no longer trying to make something happen. You're simply expressing what already is in your assumed state. Let me share with you what I mean by the natural feeling. If you were now the person you desire to be, how would you feel? Not emotionally excited, but naturally feel. If you were now wealthy, how would you naturally feel about money? If you were now in perfect health, how would you naturally feel about your body? These natural feelings are the key to shifting your state. Many of you make the mistake of trying to feel excited about your desire. But excitement implies that something is new or unusual. The universe responds not to excitement, but to the natural, familiar feeling of already being what you desire to be. When something is truly yours, you don't get excited about having it, you simply feel it as natural. Consider this, you don't get excited about having your name, do you? You don't wake up thrilled about being who you are. It feels natural, normal, ordinary. This is the feeling you must capture about your desire. The universe responds to what feels natural to you, not to what feels exciting or extraordinary. Let me tell you something about the universe's response to your state. It cannot distinguish between what you assume to be true and what is actually true in the outer world. To the universe, your assumptions are the only reality. This is why Scripture tells us that all things are possible to him that believeth. Your current state might be one of limitation, but remember you assumed your way into that state, and you can assume your way out of it. The universe has no choice but to reflect whatever state you occupy. It's not punishing you with your current circumstances. It's faithfully reflecting your assumed state. Here's a profound secret about shifting states. You don't need to know how the shift will be accomplished in the outer world. Your only task is to occupy the new state in consciousness. The universe, which is your own wonderful human imagination pushed out, will rearrange circumstances, events, and people to match your new state. The universe rearranges itself in ways that our logical minds could never conceive. When you shift to a new state, you don't need to manipulate external circumstances. The external must conform to your internal state. This is law. The universe will bring about the conditions, people, and events that correspond to your new state in ways that will seem miraculous. Let me share with you a principle that few understand. Time is not a factor in the manifestation of your desire. What matters is not the passage of time, but the intensity of your conviction in the new state. The universe doesn't need time to rearrange itself. It only needs your unwavering assumption of the new state. Many of you ask how long it will take for your desire to manifest. But I tell you this, time is a feature of the outer world, not of consciousness. In consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. The moment you completely accept your desire as fulfilled in consciousness, the universe begins its work of bringing it into visibility. Consider this: when you plant a seed in fertile soil, you don't dig it up every day to see if it's growing. You know that by law it must grow. Similarly, when you plant an assumption in consciousness, you must allow it to take root and grow by its own law. The universe knows how to bring it forth. Your task is to maintain the state that implies its fulfillment. Let me tell you something about the universe's response to your state. It responds not to your sporadic thoughts or occasional affirmations, but to your sustained assumption. If you assume wealth for an hour, but spend the rest of the day conscious of lack, the universe responds to your predominant state of lack. This is why persistence in your new state is crucial. You must learn to sleep in your new state, to walk in your new state, to breathe in your new state. Every moment that you can maintain the feeling of your wish fulfilled, the universe is rearranging itself to bring about the conditions that match your assumption. Here's a profound truth about the universe's response. It doesn't respond to what you think you deserve or what others think you deserve. It responds solely to what you assume to be true. If you can assume a state and maintain that assumption, the universe must, and I emphasize must, provide the conditions that match your assumption. Maintaining your assumption is not a matter of mental effort, but a faithful occupancy of your new state. Just as you don't need effort to occupy your physical home, you don't need effort to occupy your desired state once you truly move into it. The key is to make your new state your permanent dwelling place in consciousness. Let me share with you what I mean by faithful occupancy. When you live in a physical home, you don't constantly remind yourself that it's your home. You simply live there naturally. You wake up there, you sleep there, you go about your daily activities there. This is how you must live in your new state of consciousness. Many of you make the mistake of visiting your desired state like a tourist, spending a few moments there through apparitions or visualization, then returning to your old state. But I tell you this, you must pack up and move permanently into your new state. You must establish residency there in your imagination. Consider this, everything you're experiencing now was once just an assumption you held. Your current financial situation, your relationships, your health, All of these were first established in your imagination through your tune. The universe has been faithfully reflecting these assumptions back to you. When you understand this, you realize that maintaining your new assumption is not about forcing yourself to think certain thoughts. It's about becoming so convinced of your new state that contrary thoughts become impossible to entertain. Just as you can't convince yourself that 2 plus 2 equals 5, you become unable to accept any evidence that contradicts your new state. Let me tell you something vital about maintaining your assumption. Your outer world will not immediately reflect your new state. There will be a time lag between your assumption and its physical manifestation. During this interval, you must maintain your assumption despite any contrary evidence. This is where most people falter. They look at the outer world, see no change, and abandon their assumption. But I tell you this, the outer world is nothing more than a shadow of past assumptions. It has no power to prevent the manifestation of your new assumption, unless you give it that power by abandoning your new state. Persisting despite contrary evidence is the mark of true mastery in consciousness. The outer world will continue to reflect your old assumptions for a time. This is law. But I tell you this, these reflections have no power except the power you give them through your reaction to them. When you understand that your three-dimensional world is merely the shadow of your consciousness, you cease to be moved by appearances. Would you be frightened by your shadow on the wall? Of course not, because you know it's just a shadow. Similarly, your current circumstances are just shadows of past assumptions, powerless to affect your new state unless you grant them power. Let me share with you a principle that has proven itself countless times. The outer world must conform to your inner assumption, but it will test your conviction first. When you assume a new state, the universe will present you with evidence that seems to contradict your assumption. This is not to discourage you. It's to strengthen your resolve. Consider this. When you plant a seed in the ground, the soil above it must crack and break before the plant emerges. Similarly, when you plant a new assumption in consciousness, the old conditions must break up before the new can emerge. These apparent contradictions are not denials of your assumption. They are signs that your old world is breaking up to make way for the new. Many of you abandon your assumption at the first sign of contradiction. But I tell you this, those very contradictions, if you persist through them, become the foundation stones of your new reality. Every seeming denial, when you maintain your assumption in spite of it, becomes proof of your power to create. Let me tell you something about persistence that few understand. You don't persist by fighting against current conditions. You persist by remaining so centered in your new state that current conditions become irrelevant. Just as the sun doesn't fight against darkness, it simply shines. You don't fight against current circumstances. You simply maintain the light of your new assumption. The depth of your conviction is the measure of your success in manifesting your desires. When your conviction in your new state reaches the point where you can no longer conceive of its opposite, that is when manifestation becomes inevitable. Remember this, the universe is not something outside of you that needs to be convinced. It is your own wonderful human imagination pushed out into space. Therefore, the depth of your conviction is actually the degree to which you have convinced yourself, not some external power. Let me leave you with these final truths about working with the universe. First, know that the universe is always listening, because it is your own consciousness externalized. Second, understand that it responds not to your wishes, but to your convictions. Third, realize that your task is not to make something happen, but to assume the state where it has already happened. The power you seek is already within you. The state you desire already exists. The wealth, the health, the love, the success, all are present now in consciousness. Your work is not to create them, but to assume them into expression through your conviction. When you walk out of here tonight, remember this. You are not going out to face a hostile universe that needs to be conquered. You are going out to experience your own consciousness made visible. Everything you will encounter is yourself pushed out. Every person, every circumstance, every event is your consciousness externalized. Therefore, assume the best about yourself, for in doing so, you're assuming the best about your world. The universe cannot give you more than you assume for yourself. It cannot give you less than you assume for yourself. It can only and must give you exactly what you assume. Go forth now in this knowledge. Test it. Prove it in the laboratory of daily life. For I tell you this with absolute conviction, the universe is always listening, and it has no choice but to mold itself according to your assumptions. That is the law. And the law never fails. The choice is yours now. You can continue to accept your present assumptions and experience their reflections, or you can assume a new state and watch as the universe rearranges itself to match your new assumption. The power is yours, the choice is yours, and the universe awaits your decision. For consciousness is the only reality, and what you assume as true in consciousness must and will become true in your world. That is the law. That is the promise. And that is the power that makes the universe work for you.
Just begin by understanding a fundamental truth. Your feelings are not a reaction to the world around you, but rather they are the cause of the world you experience. This may sound strange to those of you who have been taught that your emotions are simply responses to external events. But I tell you, it is the other way around. Your emotions, your inner states, are the very substance from which your external reality is formed. Think of it this way. The world you see around you is nothing more than a shadow, a reflection of your inner state of being. Just as a projector casts images onto a screen, your consciousness projects your inner states onto the screen of space and time. And just as changing the film in a projector changes the images on the screen, changing your inner state changes the world you experience. Now, you might be thinking, but Neville, surely you can't deny the reality of the challenges I'm facing. How can I feel good when I've lost my job? Or when I'm facing a serious illness? Or when my relationships are in turmoil? And to this I ask you to deny the existence of your current circumstances. I ask you to deny their power over your inner state. You see, your circumstances, no matter how dire they may seem, have no inherent power to make you feel anything. Your feelings are not determined by what happens to you, but by your interpretation of what happens. And this interpretation, this meaning you give to events, is entirely within your control. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Imagine two people who have just lost their jobs. One falls into despair, feeling hopeless and defeated. The other feels excited, seeing this as an opportunity for a new beginning, a chance to pursue a long-held dream. Same external event, vastly different emotional responses. What makes the difference? It's not the event itself, but the meaning each person assigns to it. Now, you might be thinking, but surely some events are inherently negative. Surely some circumstances are objectively bad. And to this I say, there is no objective reality outside of your consciousness. What you call reality is simply a reflection of your assumptions, your beliefs, your habitual thought patterns. This is not to say that challenging circumstances don't exist. They do. But their power to affect your emotional state is entirely dependent on your choice to give them that power. You always have the ability to choose your response, to choose how you will feel regardless of external conditions. But why is this so important? Why should you strive to feel good when everything seems to be going wrong? The answer lies in the creative power of your emotions. Your feelings are not just responses to your world. They are the very substance from which your world is created. When you consistently feel good, when you maintain a positive emotional state, regardless of external circumstances, you are aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe. You're tuning your consciousness to the frequency of your desires, rather than the frequency of your current circumstances. Think of it like this. Your emotions are like a radio tuner. When you feel negative emotions, fear, anxiety, despair, you're tuning into the frequency of lack, of limitation, of things going wrong. But when you choose to feel good, to feel positive emotions regardless of circumstances, you're tuning into the frequency of abundance, of possibility, of things going right. And here's the key. The universe can only give you more of what you're tuned into. If you're tuned into the frequency of lack and limitation, that's what you'll continue to experience. But if you tune into the frequency of abundance and possibility, that's what will begin to manifest in your life. This is why it's so crucial to remember to feel good, especially when everything else seems to be going wrong. Because in those moments, when it's most challenging to feel good, that's when it's most important. That's when you have the greatest opportunity to shift your reality. Now, I can hear some of you thinking, but Neville, isn't this just positive thinking? Isn't this just putting on a happy face and pretending everything is fine when it's not? And to this I say, this is not about pretending or faking positive emotions. This is about understanding the true nature of reality and your role as a creator. You see, when you truly understand that your inner state is the cause, not the effect of your external reality, feeling good becomes the most logical, the most practical thing you can do. It's not about ignoring problems or pretending they don't exist. It's about recognizing that the solution to any problem, the path to any desire. Let me give you another example to illustrate this point. Imagine you're in a dark room fumbling around, trying to find the light switch. The longer you fumble in the dark, the more frustrated you become. The more things you bump into, the more chaos you create. But the moment you find the switch and turn on the light, everything changes. Suddenly, you can see clearly. You can navigate easily. You can put everything in order. Your emotional state is like that light switch. When you're in a negative emotional state, you're fumbling in the dark. You can't see solutions. You can't find opportunities. You create more chaos and confusion. But when you shift to a positive emotional state, when you remember to feel good, it's like turning on the light. Suddenly you can see clearly. Solutions become apparent. Opportunities reveal themselves. Order replaces chaos. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. You're thinking, but Neville, how can I possibly feel good when I'm in the midst of real problems, real challenges? And this is a valid question. It's easy to feel good when everything is going well. The real test, the real opportunity for growth and transformation comes when you can maintain a positive emotional state in the face of adversity. So how do you do this? How do you remember to feel good when everything else seems to be going wrong? The key lies in your imagination. Your imagination is the most powerful tool you possess. It is, in fact, the very workshop in which you create your reality. When circumstances seem dire, when problems seem insurmountable, that is the moment to turn to your imagination. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and imagine a reality where your problems are solved, where your desires are fulfilled. Feel the relief, the joy, the excitement of that reality. Let those feelings fill your entire being. Now, some of you might be thinking, but isn't this just fantasy? Isn't this just escapism? And to this, I say, your imagination is not a place to escape reality. Your imagination is the very place where reality is created. You see, what you imagine with feeling, what you experience vividly in your mind's eye, is not separate from reality. It is reality in its nascent state. It is reality not yet manifested in the world of physical senses, but no less real for that. In fact, it is more real because it is the cause, of which your physical reality is merely the... When you imagine a better reality, when you feel the emotions associated with that reality, you are not engaging in idle fantasy. You are engaging in the most powerful, the most practical act of creation. You are impressing upon your subconscious mind the reality you wish to experience. And your subconscious mind, which knows no difference between what is vividly imagined and what is physically experienced, begins immediately to bring about the conditions and circumstances that match your imagined reality. This is why it's so crucial to remember to feel good, especially when external circumstances seem to be at their worst. Because in those moments when you choose to feel good despite appearances, you are exercising your true power as a creator. You are asserting your dominion over your reality. Now let's address another common concern. Some of you might be thinking, but Neville, if I feel good when things are going wrong, aren't I just deluding myself? Aren't I ignoring reality? And to this I sigh. What is reality? Is it only what your physical senses show you at this moment? Or is it the infinite field of possibilities that exists in your imagination? You see, what you call reality is simply the outpicturing of past thoughts and feelings. It's the harvest of seeds you've planted in the past. But at any moment, you have the power to plant new seeds, to imagine and feel a new reality into existence. This doesn't mean you ignore your current circumstances or act irresponsibly. It means you acknowledge your present situation while simultaneously holding in your mind and heart the reality you wish to experience. You live in two worlds at once. The world of physical senses and the world of imagination. Knowing that the latter will eventually replace the former. Let me give you an example to illustrate this point. Suppose you're currently struggling financially. You wouldn't ignore your bills or pretend your debts don't exist. You would continue to manage your current finances responsibly. But at the same time, you would live from the state of financial abundance in your imagination. You would feel the relief of having all your debts paid. You would experience the joy of having more than enough money for all your needs and desires. You would feel the security of an abundant bank account. And you would carry these feelings with you throughout your day, even as you're dealing with your current financial situation. This is what it means to remember to feel good when everything else is going wrong. It's about holding two realities in your mind simultaneously while emotionally residing in the reality you desire to experience. Now, some of you might be wondering, but how long will it take for my imagined reality to manifest? How long do I need to maintain these good feelings before I see results? And to this, I say, time is a construct of the human mind. In the realm of pure consciousness, where all creation takes place, there is no time. Your desire is fulfilled the moment you assume it to be so. The time it takes to appear in your physical reality depends on many factors, including the naturalness of the desire, your ability to maintain your assumption, and the current conditions of your life. But here's the key. Don't concern yourself with the when or the how. Your job is simply to assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and to live from that state. The universe will take care of the details. Trust the process. Know that what you have assumed must come to pass by universal law. Remember, creation is finished. All possible realities already exist. When you assume a new state, when you choose to feel good despite challenging circumstances, you're not creating something new. You're simply selecting a different reality from the infinite array of possibilities that already exist. You're tuning your consciousness to a different frequency, so to speak, and thus experiencing a different version of reality. This understanding should free you from anxiety and impatience. There's no need to worry about whether your desire will manifest. It must, for it already exists. Your only task is to align your consciousness with it through your assumption, through your choice to feel good regardless of external circumstances. Now let's talk about an aspect of this principle that many people overlook. When you truly understand that you always get what you want, that the universe is constantly responding to your assumptions and delivering experiences that match them, how can you not feel profound gratitude? Gratitude is not just a pleasant emotion. It's a powerful creative force. When you feel grateful, you're affirming that you already have what you desire. You're living from the state of fulfillment, of abundance, of your wish realized. And in doing so, you're aligning yourself even more powerfully with that reality. So cultivate an attitude of gratitude, especially when circumstances seem challenging. Be thankful not just for what you already have in your physical reality, but for what you've assumed in your imagination. Feel the gratitude of already being, doing, or having what you desire. This gratitude will transform your entire experience of life. You'll find yourself appreciating the present moment more fully, even as you're assuming a different state. You'll see the beauty and perfection in all things, recognizing them as expressions of the same divine consciousness that you are. Now, I want to address something that often comes up as people begin to apply these principles. They start to wonder, if feeling good is so important, what if I can't maintain positive emotions all the time? What if I have moments of doubt, fear, or negativity? My friends, it's important to understand that the goal is not to never experience negative emotions. Negative emotions are a natural part of the human experience. The goal is to not dwell in these negative states, to not let them define your overall emotional climate. Think of it like the weather. Just as there will always be some cloudy or rainy days, there will always be some moments of doubt or fear. But just as a few cloudy days don't define the overall climate, a few moments of negativity don't define your overall emotional state. The key is to not resist these negative emotions when they arise, but to acknowledge them, accept them, and then choose to shift back to a positive state. Remember, you always have the power to choose your emotional state, regardless of circumstances. One powerful way to shift your emotional state is through the use of affirmations. But not just any affirmations, affirmations that you feel to be true. You see, the power of an affirmation lies not in the words themselves, but in the feeling behind the words. For example, if you're facing financial difficulties, simply repeating, "I am wealthy," might feel false and create inner conflict. Instead, you might affirm, "I am open to financial abundance," or "money flows to me easily and frequently." Choose affirmations that feel true to you, that create a sense of possibility and excitement when you say it. Another powerful technique for maintaining a positive emotional state is visualization. Spend time each day visualizing your desired reality in vivid detail. See it, hear it, feel it, taste it, smell it. Make it as real as possible in your imagination. As you do this, pay attention to the feelings that arise. Let yourself fully experience the joy, the excitement, the relief of having your desire fulfilled. These feelings are the bridge between your current reality and your desired reality. Now, some of you might be thinking, "But Neville, what about action? Don't we need to do something to bring about the changes we desire?" And to this I say, of course, action is important, but it's not the kind of action most people think of. You see, most people believe they need to take action to make things happen. They believe they need to struggle, to strive, to force things into being. But this kind of action often comes from a place of lack, of fear, of trying to fix something that's perceived as wrong. The kind of action I'm talking about is inspired action. It's action that flows naturally from your assumed state. When you're consistently feeling good, when you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you'll find yourself naturally taking actions that align with that state. These actions won't feel like struggle or effort. They'll feel natural, effortless, even joyful. You'll find opportunities presenting themselves to you. You'll have intuitive flashes of insight. You'll be in the right place at the right time. This is because when you're in alignment with your desire, when you're feeling good despite challenging circumstances, you're in harmony with the creative power of the universe. You're allowing that power to work through you, guiding your actions and orchestrating events in ways that you could never plan or force. Now let's address another common concern. Some of you might be thinking, "But Neville, what about other people? What if my ability to feel good is dependent on how others treat me or what they do?" And to this I say, no one and nothing outside of you has the power to determine your emotional state. You see, other people, like everything else in your reality, are simply playing the parts that you've assigned to them through your assumptions. If you assume that your happiness depends on others, then that will be your experience. But if you assume that your emotional state is entirely within your control, then that will be your reality. This doesn't mean you become indifferent to others or that you don't care about your relationships. It means you take responsibility for your own emotional state, regardless of how others behave. It means you choose to feel good, to maintain a positive emotional state, regardless of what others say or do. And here's the beautiful thing. When you do this, when you maintain your positive state, regardless of others' behavior, you'll find that others begin to reflect that state back to you. Remember, the outer world is always a reflection of your inner state. As you change, your experience of others will change too. Now let's talk about persistence. Remembering to feel good when everything seems to be going wrong is not always easy. It requires persistence, practice, and patience. There will be times when you slip back into old patterns of thought and emotion. There will be times when circumstances seem so challenging that it feels impossible to maintain a positive state. It's not about being perfect. It's about consistently returning to your desired state, no matter how many times you slip. It's about making the choice again and again to feel good despite appearances. Think of it like learning to play a musical instrument. At first it feels awkward. You make mistakes. It doesn't sound good. But with persistent practice, it becomes more natural. The movements become fluid. The music begins to flow. And one day you realize you're playing beautifully without even thinking about it. The same is true with maintaining a positive emotional state. At first, it might feel forced or unnatural. You might find yourself slipping back into negative states frequently. But with persistent practice, it becomes easier. It becomes more natural. And eventually, it becomes your default state. Now I want to address something that often comes up as people begin to apply these principles. They start to worry about being selfish or uncaring if they focus on feeling good when others around them are struggling. But I assure you, maintaining your positive state is the most loving, the most compassionate thing you can do. You see, when you choose to feel good, regardless of circumstances, you become a beacon of light in a world that often seems dark. You become a living example of the power of consciousness to transform reality. You inspire others not through preaching or lecturing, but through your very being. Moreover, when you maintain a positive state, you're in a much better position to help others. Think about it. Can a drowning person save another drowning person? You need to be standing on solid ground. Or better yet, in a boat, to be able to throw a lifeline to someone who's struggling. In the same way, when you're mired in negative emotions, when you're overwhelmed by challenging circumstances, you're in no position to truly help others. But when you're grounded in a positive state, when you're living from the state of your wish fulfilled, you have the stability, the clarity, and the resources to make a real difference in others' lives. Remember, too, that your state of consciousness affects not just your own experience, but the collective consciousness of humanity. Every time you choose to feel good despite challenging circumstances, you're elevating the entire human family. You're adding your light to the sum of light, making it easier for others to find their way out of darkness. As we come to the close of our discussion, I want to leave you with this final thought. Remembering to feel good when everything else is going wrong is not just a technique for manifesting your desires. It's a way of life. It's a recognition of your true nature as a divine being, as a creator of your reality. When you consistently choose to feel good, regardless of external circumstances, you're declaring your independence from the world of effects. You're asserting your true power as a cause. You're aligning yourself with the creative power of the universe itself. This is the great secret, the great truth that all the mystics and sages throughout history have pointed to. Your emotional state, your inner world, is the source of your entire life experience. As you master your inner world, as you learn to consistently feel good despite appearances, you become the master of your destiny. My dear friends, I urge you, remember to feel good, especially when everything else seems to be going wrong. For in those moments when it's most challenging to maintain a positive state, that's when it's most crucial. That's when you have the greatest opportunity to transform your life and to contribute to transformation in our world. Go forth now, armed with this knowledge, and put it into practice. Choose to feel good no matter what. Live from the state of your wish fulfilled. And watch as the world around you transforms to match your inner state. For this is the true art of living, the true science of creation. This is your birthright as a divine being. Claim it, live it.
Now, when I speak of silence, I do not merely refer to the absence of sound, though that is certainly a part of it. No, the silence I speak of is far more profound, far more transformative. It is the silence of the mind, the stillness of the soul, the quiet that precedes all creation. In this world of constant noise and chatter, where every moment seems filled with the clamor of thoughts and the din of external stimuli, we have forgotten the power that lies in silence. We have forgotten that it is in the depths of silence that we connect with our true selves, with the divine within us, with the very source of all creation. Consider for a moment the words of Scripture, "Be still and know that I am God." These words are not a mere suggestion, my dear friends. They are a command, the key to unlocking the infinite potential that resides within each and every one of you. For it is in that stillness, in that silence, that we come to know our true nature, our oneness with the divine. You see, the real truth of being silent is that it is the gateway to all manifestation. It is the fertile soil in which the seeds of your desires take root and grow. It is the canvas upon which you paint the masterpiece of your life. In silence, you become the author of your own story, the creator of your own reality. But how, you may ask, can silence be so powerful? How can the absence of action, the cessation of thought, lead to the fulfillment of our deepest desires? The answer, my friends, lies in understanding the nature of reality itself. You see, the world you perceive around you with all its seeming solidity and permanence is but a shadow, a reflection of your inner state. Your consciousness, your awareness, is the substance from which all things are formed. And it is in the silence of your mind that you gain access to this substance, this creative power. When you enter into silence, when you still the incessant chatter of your thoughts, you enter into the realm of pure potential. In this state, unencumbered by doubts, fears, or limiting beliefs, you are free to impress upon your subconscious mind the image of your desired reality. And make no mistake, it is your subconscious mind that shapes your world, that molds the circumstances of your life to match your inner convictions. Let me share with you a fundamental truth. Imagination creates reality. Your imagination, when focused and imbued with the feeling of reality, becomes the blueprint from which your life is built, and it is in silence that your imagination is most potent, most alive. In the silence of your mind, you can see with perfect clarity the life you wish to lead. You can feel with every fiber of your being the joy, the success, the love that you desire. And in feeling it, in experiencing it within your imagination as a present fact, you set in motion the forces that will bring it into your physical reality. This, my dear friends, is the law of assumption. When you assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled, when you live from the end as if your desire were already a fact, you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. You become one with your desire, and in that state of oneness, manifestation becomes inevitable. But to reach this state, to truly embody the feeling of your wish fulfilled, you must first cultivate silence. You must learn to quiet the doubting voice of your rational mind, to still the turbulent waters of your emotions. For it is only in the calm, in the silence, that you can clearly hear the voice of your intuition, the whisper of your higher self. Now, some of you may be thinking, but Neville, how can I possibly find silence in this noisy world? How can I quiet my mind when it's constantly bombarded with thoughts and worries? And to you, I say this: silence is not something you find, it is something you create. The practice of silence begins with a decision, a commitment to turn inward, to disconnect from the external world and reconnect with your inner being. It begins with setting aside time each day, even if only for a few minutes, to sit in quietude, to observe your thoughts without judgment, to simply be. As you cultivate this practice, you will find that silence becomes not just a state you enter into during meditation, but a constant companion, a refuge you can access at any moment. You will discover that even in the midst of chaos, you can tap into an inner wellspring of peace and clarity. But the real truth of being silent goes beyond mere relaxation or stress relief. It is a transformative practice that alters the very fabric of your being. In silence, you begin to peel away the layers of conditioning, the false beliefs and limitations that have been imposed upon you by society, by your upbringing, by your past experiences. You see, my friends, most of us go through life wearing masks, playing roles that have been assigned to us by others. We identify with our jobs, our possessions, our relationships, our social status. But these are not who we truly are. They are merely costumes we wear in the grand play of life. In silence, you begin to see through these illusions. You come face to face with your true self, your eternal, unchanging essence. And in that recognition, in that remembrance of who you really are, you reclaim your power as a creative being, as a co-creator with the divine. This is why silence is so threatening to the ego, to the false self that thrives on noise and distraction. The ego fears silence because in silence it ceases to exist. In the pure awareness that arises in deep silence, there is no ego, no separate self. There is only the I am, the eternal presence that is your true nature. And it is from this state of pure being, this state of I am, that all creation springs forth. When you silence the mind and enter into the I am state, you tap into the infinite potential of the universe. You become a clear channel through which the divine can express itself in the world. This, my dear friends, is the real power of silence. It is not passive, it is not weak. On the contrary, it is the most potent force in the universe. For in silence, you align yourself with the very source of all creation. You become one with the power that spins galaxies and orchestrates the dance of subatomic particles. Now let me be clear. The silence I speak of is not a retreat from the world. It is not about escaping your responsibilities or avoiding the challenges of life. No, the silence I speak of is a dynamic, creative force that empowers you to engage with life more fully, more authentically. When you cultivate inner silence, you develop a clarity of perception that allows you to see through the world. You begin to recognize that the external circumstances of your life are but reflections of your inner state. And in this recognition lies true freedom, true power. For if your world is a reflection of your consciousness, then by changing your consciousness, you change your world. This is the promise and the challenge of the practice of silence. It offers you the keys to the kingdom, but it also demands that you take full responsibility for your life, for your creations. In the silence of your mind, you will encounter your fears, your doubts, your unresolved emotions. You will come face to face with the parts of yourself that you have denied or repressed. This can be uncomfortable, even frightening at times. But remember, my friends, that these shadows only have power over you as long as they remain in darkness. By bringing them into the light of your awareness, by observing them without judgment in the silence of your mind, you begin to dissolve these limiting patterns. You free yourself from the unconscious programming that has been running your life on autopilot. This is why the practice of silence is so transformative. It is not just about manifesting your desires, though that is certainly a powerful aspect of it. It is about awakening to your true nature, about remembering who you really are beyond all the roles and identities you have assumed. In silence, you discover that you are not your thoughts, not your emotions, not your body. These are all aspects of your experience, but they are not your essence. Your essence is the awareness that perceives these things, the consciousness that underlies all experience. And when you realize this, when you truly know this, not just intellectually, but experientially, your entire relationship with life changes. You no longer feel like a victim of circumstances, buffeted about by the winds of fate. You recognize yourself as the author of your experience, as the creator of your reality. This recognition brings with it a profound sense of peace, a deep trust in the unfolding of life. For when you know that you are one with the creative power of the universe, what is there to fear? When you understand that all experiences, all circumstances are but reflections of your own consciousness, what is there to resist? In this state of inner silence, of deep trust, manifestation becomes effortless. You no longer need to struggle or strive to make things happen. You simply hold the image of your desire in your mind, feel it as real, and then release it, knowing that the infinite intelligence of the universe will bring it about in divine timing. This is the art of conscious creation, and it is born in silence. It is in the quiet of your mind that you can most clearly formulate your intentions, most vividly imagine your desired reality, and most deeply feel the emotion of your wish fulfilled. But remember, my friends, that the power of silence extends beyond individual manifestation. As you cultivate inner silence, as you align yourself with the creative power of the universe, you become a force for transformation in the world. You see, you are all connected, all part of the same universal consciousness. When you change your inner state, when you raise your vibration through the practice of silence, you contribute to the elevation of collective consciousness. You become a beacon of light, radiating peace and possibility to all those around you. This is how real change happens in the world, not through force or struggle, but through the silent revolution of consciousness. As more and more individuals awaken to their true nature, as more and more people cultivate the power of silence, we create a ripple effect that has the potential to transform our entire society, our entire world. Imagine a world where people are no longer driven by fear, greed, and the need for external validation. Imagine a world where each individual recognizes their inherent divinity, their innate power to create. This is the world we can create through the practice of silence. But it begins with you. It begins with your commitment to cultivate inner silence, to turn within and reconnect with your true self. It begins with your willingness to face your fears, to challenge your limiting beliefs, to imagine a greater possibility for your life and for the world. The journey into silence is not always easy. There will be times when the noise of the world seems overwhelming, when the chatter of your mind seems incessant. There will be moments of doubt, of frustration, of impatience, but I urge you, my dear friends, to persist. For in those moments of challenge lie the greatest opportunities for growth, for transformation. It is often in our darkest hours that we discover our greatest light. It is when we feel most lost that we are on the verge of finding ourselves. So I invite you here and now to make a commitment to silence. Commit to setting aside time each day to sit in quietude, to turn within and listen to the wisdom of your heart. Commit to observing your thoughts, your emotions, your reactions without judgment, simply witnessing them as they arise and pass away. As you do this, You will begin to notice subtle shifts in your perception. The world around you may appear brighter, more alive. You may find yourself responding to situations with greater calm, greater clarity. You may notice synchronicities and serendipities occurring more frequently in your life. These are all signs that you are aligning with the creative power of the universe. They are confirmations that you are on the right path, that your practice of silence is bearing fruit. But remember, the greatest confirmation, the truest measure of your progress, is the peace you feel within. It is the growing sense of connection to something greater than yourself, the deepening trust in the unfolding of life. As you continue on this path, as you deepen your practice of silence, you will discover that it becomes not just a practice but a way of life. You will find yourself naturally turning within in moments of challenge or decision, naturally seeking the guidance of your inner wisdom. You will discover that you no longer need to force things to happen in your life. Instead, you will learn to flow with the current of life, to co-create with the universe in a dance of effortless manifestation. This, my dear friends, is the real truth of being silent. It is not about absence but presence. It is not about emptiness but fullness. It is about tapping into the infinite potential that lies within you, about aligning with the creative power of the universe. In silence, you discover that you are not separate from the source of all creation. You are that source expressing itself in human form. You are the universe experiencing itself through your unique perspective. And when you know this, when you live from this truth, your life becomes a joyous adventure of creation and self-discovery. You no longer feel bound by limitations or constrained by circumstances. You recognize that the only limits that exist are those you have accepted in your own mind. In silence, you have the power to transcend these self-imposed limitations. You have the power to reimagine yourself, to rewrite the story of your life. You have the power to create a life that is a true expression of your highest potential, your deepest desires. So I urge you, my dear friends, embrace the practice of silence. Make it a cornerstone of your daily life. For in doing so, you are not just transforming your own life, you are contributing to the transformation of our world. Every moment of silence, every instance of turning within, every act of conscious creation ripples out into the collective consciousness. It adds to the growing wave of awakening that is sweeping across our planet. You are part of this great awakening. Your commitment to silence, to inner transformation, is a vital contribution to the evolution of human consciousness. Never underestimate the power of your individual practice, for it is through the transformation of individuals that we transform the world. As you leave here today, I invite you to carry this message of silence with you. Let it be a constant reminder of your true nature, of your innate power to create. Let it inspire you to turn within, to seek the wisdom and guidance that resides in the silence of your own heart. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is not something to be sought in the external world, but a state of consciousness to be realized through the practice of silence. It is your birthright, your true inheritance as a divine being having a human experience. So claim your birthright. Embrace the silence. Allow it to reveal to you the infinite potential that lies within. Allow it to guide you to the fulfillment of your deepest desires, to the realization of your highest purpose. For in the end, my dear friends, this is what the practice of silence offers: the opportunity to live a life of purpose, of passion, of deep fulfillment. It offers us the chance to become conscious co-creators with the divine, to play our unique part in the grand symphony of creation. This is the real truth of being silent. It is the key to unlocking the treasure house of your own being, to accessing the infinite wisdom and power that resides within you. It is the path to true freedom, true happiness, true self-realization. So go forth from here with a renewed commitment to silence. Make it your constant companion, your trusted guide on the journey of life. Let it lead you to the deepest truths of your being, to the fullest expression of your divine nature. And as you do, know that you are not alone on this journey. The same power that spins the galaxies, that orchestrates the dance of life, is within you, supporting you, guiding you every step of the way. Trust in this power. Surrender to it. Allow it to work through you, to express itself as you. For you are a divine being, a creative force in the universe. You have within you the power to shape your reality, to manifest your desires, to create a life of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. This is the promise of silence. This is the gift that awaits you in the quiet depths of your own being. Embrace it, my dear friends. Live it, be it. And in doing so, you will not only transform your own life, but you will contribute to the transformation of our world. You would become a beacon of light, a channel for divine expression, a living embodiment of the truth that lies at the heart of all creation. This is your calling. This is your destiny. This is the real truth of being silent. So let us go forth from here with renewed purpose, with deepened commitment to our inner journey. Let us embrace the power of silence, knowing that in its depths lie the keys to our freedom, our fulfillment, our ultimate realization. For in silence, we find our true selves. In silence, we connect with the divine. In silence, we become co-creators with the universe. This is the promise. This is the possibility. This is the truth. And it is available to each and every one of you here and now, in this very moment. So take a deep breath, my friends. Close your eyes for a moment. Feel the silence that surrounds you, that permeates you. Feel the power that resides within you. And in this moment of stillness, of inner quiet, set your intention. Commit to making silence a part of your daily life. Commit to turning within, to listening to the wisdom of your heart, to aligning with the creative power of the universe. For in this commitment lies the seed of your transformation. In this decision to embrace silence lies the potential for a life beyond your wildest dreams. So step boldly into the silence, my friends. Step boldly into your power. Step boldly into the grand adventure of conscious creation that awaits you. For this is your birthright. This is your destiny. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is calling you home to yourself, to your true nature, to the infinite potential that lies within you. Answer the call, my friends. Embrace the silence and watch as your life transforms in miraculous ways. For in silence, all things are possible. In silence, you are infinite. In silence, you are free. This is the truth. This is the way. This is the life that awaits you. So go forth and be silent. Go forth and be powerful. Go forth and be the creator of magnificent reality. For this is who you truly are. This is what you came here to be. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and always to claim to live. Thank you, my dear friends. May the power of silence guide you, bless you, and transform you. May you realize the fullness of your divine nature and create a life that is a testament to the infinite potential that resides within you. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And your journey into the transformative power of silence begins with this moment, with the decision to turn within and listen to the wisdom of your heart. So take that step, my friends. Embrace the silence and watch as the miracles unfold in your life. For this is the promise of silence. This is the gift that awaits you. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and forever to explore, to embody, to become. Go in peace, my friends. Go in power. Go in the knowing that you are divine beings, creators of your own reality, masters of your own destiny. For this is the truth that silence reveals. This is the reality that awaits you in the quiet depths of your own being. Embrace it. Live it. For in doing so, you fulfill your highest purpose. You express your truest nature. You become who you were always meant to be. This is the invitation of silence. This is the promise of your own divine nature. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is calling you home to yourself, to your power, to your truth. Answer the call, my friends. Step into the silence and watch as your life transforms in ways you never thought possible. For in silence, all things are possible. In silence, you are infinite. In silence, you are free. This is the truth. This is the way. This is the life that awaits you. So go forth and be silent. Go forth and be powerful. Go forth and be the creator of your own magnificent reality. For this is who you truly are. This is what you came here to be. This is the real truth of being silent. And it is yours now and always to claim, to live, to be. Thank you. And may the power of silence guide you always. Tonight we shall explore a subject that many dismiss as trivial, yet I assure you it holds within it the very keys to unlocking your greatest potential. We shall delve into the mystical hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., a time when the veil between worlds is at its thinnest, when your consciousness is most receptive to the whispers of the divine. How many of you have found yourself stirring in these early, chilly hours? pulled from your slumber by an unseen force. Perhaps you've dismissed it as mere restlessness or attributed it to some physical discomfort. But I tell you now with absolute certainty that these moments are sacred invitations from the universe itself. When you wake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., you are being called to partake in the creative power of the universe. This is the time when the world around you slumbers, when the noise of daily life subsides, and you are left alone with the infinite potential that resides within you. It is during these golden hours that you have the opportunity to shape your reality in ways that seem nothing short of miraculous to those who do not understand the law. But what, you may ask, should one do when roused from sleep at such an hour? My friends, I shall share with you 3 powerful practices that, when embraced with unwavering faith and persistence, will revolutionize your existence and align you with the very fabric of creation itself. The first thing you must do upon waking in these early hours is to immediately enter a state of gratitude. Gratitude, my dear listeners, is not merely a polite sentiment or a social nicety. No, gratitude is a powerful force that aligns your vibration with that of your desires. When you express genuine thankfulness for all that you have and all that you are, you open yourself to receive even greater blessings. As you lie there in the stillness of the early morning, begin to count your blessings. Start with the simplest things: the breath in your lungs, the beating of your heart, the comfort of your bed. Then expand your gratitude to encompass all aspects of your life. Give thanks for your loved ones, your experiences, your challenges, and yes, even your unfulfilled desires. You may wonder why I ask you to be grateful for that which you have not yet received. The answer, my friends, lies in the very nature of creation. For in the realm of the infinite, time is but an illusion. Your desires already exist in their completed state. By expressing gratitude for them now, you acknowledge their reality and draw them into your physical experience. Imagine, if you will, that you desire financial abundance. In these early morning hours, feel the overwhelming gratitude for the wealth that is already yours. Give thanks for the abundance that flows to you effortlessly, for the freedom it brings, for the opportunities it affords you to help others. Feel this gratitude with every fiber of your being, as if you were already in possession of this wealth. This practice of gratitude is not a mere exercise in positive thinking. It is a recognition of the truth of your being, that you are one with the source of all creation, and that all good things are your divine birthright. When you truly embody this state of thankfulness, you become a magnet for the very things you desire. As you lie there, bathed in the glow of gratitude, you will find that your entire being begins to shift. The worries and anxieties that may have plagued you during the day begin to dissolve, replaced by a deep sense of peace and assurance. This, my friends, is the power of aligning yourself with the truth of your being. Now let us move on to the second practice that you must embrace during these sacred hours. Having filled yourself with gratitude, you must now turn your attention to the art of visualization. Visualization, when done correctly, is not mere daydreaming or wishful thinking. It is the conscious act of creation, the very same process by which the universe itself came into being. In these quiet hours, when your mind is free from the distractions of the waking world, you have a unique opportunity to impress upon your subconscious mind the images of your desired reality. Close your eyes and begin to construct with vivid detail the life you wish to live. See it not as a distant possibility, but as your present reality. If you desire perfect health, see yourself moving with vitality and strength. Feel the energy coursing through your body, the ease with which you breathe, the clarity of your mind. If you long for a loving relationship, see yourself embraced by your perfect partner. Feel the warmth of their love. Hear the sound of their laughter. Whatever your heart's desire may be, bring it to life in your mind's eye with such clarity that it becomes more real to you than your present circumstances. As you engage in this visualization, you must remember that you are not merely imagining a future possibility. You are, in fact, experiencing the reality of your place that can truly exist within your consciousness. For all things, my dear friends, must first be conceived in the realm of imagination before they can be made manifest in the physical world. Understand that your imagination is not separate from reality. It is the very substance of reality itself. The world you see around you is nothing more than the outpicturing of the images you hold in your mind. By consciously choosing the images you dwell upon, you are quite literally choosing the reality you will experience. As you visualize, do not simply see the end result of your desire. Experience it with all your senses. If you desire a beautiful home, walk through its rooms in your mind. Feel the texture of the furnishings, smell the flowers in the garden, hear the sound of laughter echoing through its halls. The more real you can make this experience in your imagination, the more quickly it will manifest in your physical reality. But remember, my friends, that visualization is not about forcing or straining. It should be as natural and effortless as remembering a fond memory. Allow the images to flow freely, guided by the feeling of your desire fulfilled. For it is the feeling that gives life to your visualizations, that imbues them with the power to reshape your world. As you engage in this practice night after night, you will find that your visualizations become increasingly vivid and real. You may even reach a point where you can no longer distinguish between your imagined reality and your physical experience. This, my dear listeners, is the point at which true transformation begins to occur. Now, let us turn our attention to the third and final practice that you must embrace during these early morning hours. Having filled yourself with gratitude and immersed yourself in the vivid imagery of your desires fulfilled, you must now declare the truth of your being with unwavering conviction. Words, my friends, are not mere sounds or symbols on a page. They are living, vibrating energy that shapes the very fabric of your reality. The declarations you make, particularly in these receptive hours, have the power to override all contrary evidence in your physical world and establish a new order in your life. So as you lie there in the stillness of the early morning, begin to make powerful declarations of truth. Speak them aloud if you can, for there is power in the spoken word. But even if circumstances require silence, speak them with conviction in your mind. Declare, I am whole, perfect, strong, powerful, loving, harmonious, and happy. Feel the truth of these words resonating through every cell of your body. Do not simply repeat them by rote, but imbue them with the full force of your belief. If you desire success in your career, declare, I am supremely successful in all my endeavors. Everything I touch prospers and flourishes. If you seek perfect health, proclaim, I am the embodiment of perfect health and vitality. Every cell in my body radiates with divine energy. Remember, as you make these declarations, that you are not attempting to change reality. You are simply acknowledging the truth that already exists in the realm of the absolute. Your words are not creating something new, but rather aligning your consciousness with the perfection that is your true nature. You may find at first that your logical mind rebels against these declarations. It may present you with all manner of evidence to the contrary. But I urge you, my dear friends, to persist. For your logical mind deals only with the world of effects, while your declarations are operating in the world of causes. As you continue this practice day after day, you will find that your declarations begin to take root in your subconscious mind. They will become your dominant thoughts, covering your perceptions and guiding your actions throughout the day. And as your thoughts change, so too will your reality. Now, my dear friends, I want you to understand that these three practices, gratitude, visualization, and declaration, are not separate exercises to be performed in isolation. They are, in fact, different aspects of the same creative process. They work together in perfect harmony to align your entire being with the reality you wish to experience. As you express gratitude, you open yourself to receive. As you visualize, you impress upon your subconscious mind the image of your desire fulfilled. And as you declare, you align your conscious mind with this new reality. Together, these practices create an irresistible force that must, by the very laws of the universe, bring about the manifestation of your desires. But I must caution you, my friends, that this is not a practice to be undertaken lightly or half-heartedly. The universe responds to your dominant thoughts and feelings, not to your fleeting wishes or momentary enthusiasm. You must approach these early morning sessions with the utmost seriousness and dedication. Treat this time as sacred, for indeed it is. You are engaging in the very act of creation, partnering with the divine to shape your reality. Approach it with reverence, with joy, and with unwavering faith in the power that lies within you. You may find, as you begin this practice, that your physical circumstances do not immediately change. Do not be discouraged by this, for remember, the outer world is but a reflection of your inner states of consciousness. Continue your practice with patience and persistence, knowing that the seed you are planting in these early morning hours must, by divine law, come to fruition. As you go about your day, carry with you the feeling of your desire fulfilled. Let it infuse every action, every interaction, every moment, for it is this feeling that will bridge the gap between your current circumstances and the reality you are creating. My dear friends, I want you to understand that what I am sharing with you tonight is not some esoteric technique or complex metaphysical system. It is the very process by which all of creation comes into being. It is your birthright as a divine being, temporarily clothed in human form. You are not separate from the creative power of the universe. You are that power individualized and made manifest. When you truly grasp this truth, when you feel it in the very depths of your being, you will understand that there are no limits to what you can do. The early morning hours between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m. offer you a unique opportunity to tap into this creative power with minimal interference from the outside world. But remember, the power itself is always available to you at every moment of every day. These practices are not confined to these specific hours. They can and should be integrated into your entire life. As you begin to see the results of your efforts, as your desires begin to manifest in your physical reality, you may be tempted to share your experiences with others. Be discerning in this, my friends. Not everyone is ready to accept the truth of their own creative power. Some may scoff, others may attempt to discourage you. Remember that your only obligation is to remain true to your own inner knowing. You need not defend or explain your practices to anyone. Your results will speak for themselves, and those who are ready will be drawn to the light that begins to shine through you. As you continue on this path, you will find that your desires begin to shift. The material things that once seemed so important may lose their appeal as you realize the truth share there. You may find yourself drawn to higher aspirations, to ways of serving humanity and expressing the divine love that flows through you. Embrace these shifts, my dear friends, for they are signs of your spiritual growth and evolving consciousness. As you align more fully with your true nature, your desires will naturally come into harmony with the highest good for all. Now, I want to address a question that may have arisen in your minds as I've been speaking. Some of you may be wondering, but Neville, what if I don't naturally wake up between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m.? Should I set an alarm to practice these techniques? My answer to you is this: while these hours are indeed potent for the reasons I've explained, the true power lies not in the specific time, but in your state of consciousness. If you do not naturally wake during these hours, do not force it. Instead, apply these principles as you fall asleep at night and again as you wake in the morning. The moments just before sleep and just after waking are also highly receptive states. As you lie in bed at night, fill yourself with gratitude for the day that has passed and for the beautiful sleep that awaits you. Visualize your desires fulfilled and drift off to sleep in the consciousness of your wish realized. Then, upon waking, before you engage with the outside world, take a few moments to once again express gratitude, visualize, and declare the truth of your being. In this way, you bookend your sleep with powerful creative sessions, programming your subconscious mind throughout the night. Remember, my dear friends, that time is an illusion created by our physical senses. In the realm of spirit, where all creation takes place, there is only the eternal now. Whether you practice at 3 a.m., 7 a.m., or any other time, what matters is the intensity of your faith and the clarity of your vision. As we near the end of our time together, I want to impress upon you the importance of persistence. The practices I've shared with you tonight are not quick fixes or magical solutions. They are tools for aligning your consciousness with the creative power of the universe. Like any tool, their effectiveness depends on your consistent and skilled use. Do not be discouraged if you do not see immediate results. Some desires may manifest quickly, while others may take more time. Trust in the process, and above all, trust in yourself. You are not separate from the power that creates worlds. You are that power of focused individual expression. As you go forth from this place, I urge you to commit to this practice with all your heart. Whether you find yourself naturally waking in those early morning hours, or whether you choose to practice at other times, do so with dedication and joy. For you are embarking on the grandest adventure possible, the conscious creation of your own reality. Remember that every circumstance in your life, every person you encounter, every challenge you face is a reflection of your own consciousness. As you change your inner world through these practices, your outer world must, by divine law, change to match it. Be patient with yourself and with the process. Some days you may find it easy to enter into the state of your wish fulfilled. Other days it may seem more challenging. Accept these fluctuations as part of the journey. What matters is not perfection, but persistence. And as you persist, as you make these practices a non-negotiable part of your daily life, you will begin to see miracles unfold around you. Opportunities will appear as if by magic. The right people will come into your life at the perfect time. Circumstances will align in ways you could never have planned or anticipated. But the greatest miracle of all, my dear friends, will be the transformation that occurs within you. As you align more fully with your true nature as a divine creative being, you will find a peace and joy that surpasses all understanding. The fears and anxieties that may have plagued you will begin to dissolve, replaced by an unshakable faith in the goodness of life and in your own innate power. You will begin to see the world through new eyes. Where once you may have seen lack and limitation, You will now see infinite possibility. Where you once saw strangers and potential enemies, you will now see divine beings on their own unique journeys. Your heart will open, and you will find yourself naturally expressing love and compassion to all you encounter. This, my dear listeners, is the true purpose of the practices I've shared with you tonight. Yes, they will bring you the material desires of your heart, but more importantly, they will awaken you to the truth of who you really are. They will restore you to your rightful place as a conscious creator, working in harmony with the divine forces of the universe. As we come to the close of our time together, I want to leave you with one final thought. The practices we've discussed, gratitude, visualization, and declaration, are not ends in themselves. They are means by which you align yourself with the creative power of the universe. But the ultimate goal is to reach a state where you no longer need these practices, because you are living in constant awareness of your oneness with the divine. Imagine a state of being where gratitude is your constant companion, where your every thought naturally creates your reality, where your words are always in alignment with the highest truth. This, my friends, is your destiny. It is the state from which you came and to which you are now returning, enriched by your experiences in this earthly realm. So go forth from this place with joy and anticipation. Embrace these practices with all your heart. Whether you find yourself awake between 3 a.m. and 5 a.m., or whether you choose other times to connect with your divine nature, do so with the knowledge that you are engaging in the grandest work possible, the conscious creation of your life. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within you. It is not a place to be reached, but a state of consciousness to be realized. Through these practices, you are claiming your divine birthright. You are stepping into your role as a co-creator with the infinite. I leave you now with these words. You are pure consciousness. You are divine love made manifest. You are the operant power in your world. Go forth and create magnificently, for that is why you are here. Thank you, my dear friends, and may your journey be filled with wonder, joy, and the thrill of conscious creation.